That's right. I'm back. I returned. Alright. Okay. Alright. Fine. Alright. You're hilarious. There. You win. You win the intro. I don't. Fine. I want intro. I won't say any dramatic shit. I won't be dumb. I won't say anything about greatness or a new epoch or whatever. You win, okay? Thank you, Sam, for the gifted sub. To Pineapple. That's great, dude. Now, Amaranth and Pineapple both subbed to me. So, thank you, Sam, for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. It means a lot, dude. That's very kind of you. It's very generous. I appreciate that. Even if Pineapple will never see my stream ever. Because Pineapple's got important things to do. Pineapple has a Dole Whip to convert to, pineapple rum to make, canned pineapple's a little monka, but canned pineapple juice is legit though. So, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome back with the stream. Welcome back to the VOD. I just fell down the stairs of my mouth. What's up, Rob? I remember you from the mountains. Wait, from the mountains? You were there? You heard the wolves howling in the distance? We slept under the stars. Actually, I don't know if there's stars because we went to bed too early. What's up, Gabby? What's going on, Viddy? How's it going, buddy? What is it? Cobalt, good to see you. Garthen, you almost got a green dragon check, but instead of getting it, you didn't. So, nice choice. Would have made a different one. That's just me. Thank you for being here, though, regardless of your lack of green dragons this morning. Thank you, Bizzo, for being here with your green name. Make Garth feel better. Thank you for that. What's up, Eiley? Good to see you, Blaze. What's up, Zibzy? What's going on, guys? Good to see y'all. Good to see you, Ella. Oh, shit, Ella's here, man. The mods are out here, man. The mods are chilling. The mods are just relaxing apparently today. How you doing? I hope you're doing well, Gabby. I am doing fantastically today. I got a lot of rest last night. Yesterday I had one of those days where sleep caught up to me. So we got back from our trip yesterday at like 1, 2 in the afternoon, I think, around there, maybe a little bit earlier, somewhere between 12 and noon and 2. And I ended up sleeping for 2 hours during the day. I never take naps, bro. Naps for the weak and the ill-prepared and those who don't have a good relationship with caffeine. No, I don't usually take naps during the day. I napped for 2 hours yesterday. Man, that's a long ass time. Then I slept for 8.5 hours last night. So I'm like rested, man. I'm probably gonna be tired today. Let's face it. I'm gonna be tired today. I think I've developed a bit of an unhealthy relationship with caffeine over the last week. Caffeine has become something I've needed to take around 3 to 4 to not have like just ultra sleepiness in the later day to be able to do work. So I'm looking forward to resetting that because I don't usually like to be reliant on caffeine. I'm not one of those people that takes it in the morning. I don't like to take it at all through the day, at least to feel like I'm, functioning or whatever. But, that's where we are. So, I don't know, man. How do you get off caffeine, bro? Did Epoch fill out your bingo sheets early? No, come on. It say Epoch, but I didn't say Epoch. Okay. Napa makes you feel groggy. I didn't realize I said Napa. That should be a emote now. I'm all the above. I nap a lot. That's fine. I'm proud of you. Caffeine tolerance break couldn't be me. Yeah, I don't like 100 milligrams of caffeine will go a long way for me. So I don't know, bro. Guapo, what?
Almost a year, nerd. Also hi, and my puppy is cute.
Hey, Steel. What's up? How you doing, Steel? Good to see you. Good morning, Steel. Thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. How you doing, buddy? What's up? How's the puppy? What'd you name the puppy again? Did you leak the name? I forgot. I forgot if you leaked the name. I thought you did, but I can't remember what it was. So, what's up, Penguin? What's going on, buddy? How's hockey season? Oh, that's right. It's the middle of fucking summer. Nobody's playing hockey. Tovik, that's right. Tovik. Yeah, that's right. Nobody's playing hockey in the summer. Not even the Florida Panthers. So, anyway, wait. Did the Cub? Wait. How did the game turn out last night? Because I was busy. Family Cup. Oh, the Knights won. Oh, fuck. I wanted to watch the game. Damn it. All right. Good job, boys. That makes what I said even funnier. Whew. At some point, I need to drop 1,000 points, 10,000 points to get that Poggy mode. It's not worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Anyone who's got it, Fuck the Knights. All my homies hate the Knights. You don't like the Knights? I don't like. Let me tell you why I don't like the Florida Panthers. Because T'Chuk bailed on the Flames last season. Bailed. Yep. Gaudreau and T'Chuk were supposed to be Calgary's go-to, and they just bailed. They just said, I don't want to be here anymore. So fuck them. Yep. Blue Jackets and Panthers doing real well. Places with Huberdeau. Yeah, Huberdeau was good, but not on the Flames. Not in the right. Didn't have the right kind of players with him. So it's a bad trade, but best that they could do, I think. So regardless, that's cool. Glad the Knights won. Yeah. Just because the Panthers lost. I don't even care about the Knights winning, actually. Anyway, yeah, so I went camping this weekend. That is why I am late to stream by 1 day this week. I went camping with Ella, and our plans got reversed. Our plans got reversed a little bit on us with the weather and some other things. So we had to go out a day later to the mountains. It was awful, dude. It was awful. It was cold. It was miserable. It was outside. It was smoky. You could smell pine trees. It was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't the warmest. It was a little bit too cold last night. The mountain camping, for those of you who don't know, does still get cold in the middle of summer. And it got real cold last night. It got so cold that we basically couldn't be outside, even though we were dressed warm, unless we had a roaring fire going. And since we wanted to have some firewood for the morning, we decided to pack up a little bit early and go to bed a little bit early, around like 11-ish. And one of my my favorite thing about camping is the night sky. I love seeing the night sky when it is completely, you know, dark out, cloudless night. You just see an infinite ocean of stars. It inspires me to do things for Eldara. However, I also live in Canada, and when you're this far north, at midnight, it's still light. So Ella and I were like sitting there at 11:30 being like, we're gonna have to wait another like hour and a half for the sky to be truly dark. Do you want to wait another hour and a half of this cold ass shit where it's just gonna keep getting colder? We elected against it. We said screw it, we'll just go to bed, because we're going back to camp, that same campsite, probably in July, I think, for another night. So I'll have time, and we're gonna buy a heater for then. We're gonna buy a little propane heater for that trip so we can stay outside longer. But it's good. It's good. We went camping, we went hiking. I walked like 15 kilometers, which is like 10 miles, maybe, I don't know, on one hike. That was good. That was a large stretch of my walking for the weekend. Did mess up my feet though, but that happens when you walk through, you know, rocks and roots and fucking tundra and bear tracks and whatever other shit. And oh, and the bears were out there. The bears were out, so we didn't see any, but we saw some mountain goats, we saw some sheeps, we saw some deer. It was kind of funny though, where we were driving out there, right? And there's this sign on the road that, you know, around where crossings are, and it said mountain sheep ahead 2 kilometers. Mountain sheep ahead next 2 kilometers. And like maybe 80 yards, 90 yards from the sign on the road, you can see the sign and the road, there's like probably 6 mountain goats on the road. Now, I felt lied to and cheated. I was expecting there to be mountain sheep, but in fact, there were not mountain sheep. There's mountain goats licking the road. So mountain goats don't give a fuck. They don't move no matter what, man. You gotta, you know, you drive up on a deer, and the deer's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. An elk, they're like, I'm moving. A moose is like, who are you? But whatever. But a mountain goat, they don't give a fuck when you drive up on them. All right, they don't give a fuck. Were they licking the salt in the asphalt? Yes, they were licking the salt from most likely the roadkill in the asphalt. They were. That is indeed what they were doing. So, how big are mountain goats? They are, I don't know, regular goat size. I don't know, man. I don't know how big I don't know how big a regular goat is. I don't go goating. You know, I've never hunted mountain goat. Never ridden domesticated goat, but yeah, they were goats, man. We saw some deer. We saw some all sorts of critters and things like that. We heard wolves going nuts at night, though. That was like, you know, we get in bed, get our little sleeping bags up, our little cots, close our eyes, and in the distance, just hear a whole bunch of wolves howling. And they start getting closer and closer and closer. And then we heard the loudest elk I've ever heard. IRL. And then more wolves howling. So I don't know what the fuck they were up to, but they did something, man. It was a little monka, you know. That's the Canadian Rockies, bro. The campground manager, when we went there, was like, "Oh yeah, you just keep your bear spray on you, there, eh, bud." I saw some grizzly bears down here in the campsite a couple days ago. That's right. I took a picture here on my phone. There she is, just sitting on the road there, eh, bud. And she went behind that trailer right back over there and took a little nap for a little while. And it's fine. They're only the little ones and the mamas are coming down. They're not hungry. You're all good. Just carry your bear spray, and if you see one, you know, give her the old "hey, get bear." I'm like, okay, yes, sir. I mean, look, you get used to it when you live here. I mean, look, grizzly bears in general, bear attacks aren't not very common where I live. And generally, every time there's a bear attack, it's because someone was dumb. Like the last person to be attacked by a grizzly bear around where I live, I think, was a guy who wanted to get a photo of the bear. So he like followed the bear back up to their like den and tried to go in the den to take a photo. And he still lived though, which is, you know, crazy. So, hey, big kitties. The thing about mountain cats is that if they see you, you don't see them. So I didn't see any, but they might have seen us, you know? I don't know. It was weird with Una being out there. She loved it, dude. She loved it. She went on the mountain trails. She did not love being at camp so much because we had to keep her tied to one of us at all times. But she loved being out there. She loved the mountain trails. She is a hiking exploration dog, all right? She was going up and down hills. She was going up and down routes, across creeks, jumped in the lake. She loved it. The one thing, though, that is unsettling about that dog is that she's being a little clingy. She's being a little clingy. Yep. We get to bed. It's cold as fuck. And I was like, oh, there's no way Una can sleep on her blanket or in her blanket. There's no way. It's too cold. It's too cold. I had my hoodie on, my hood up. I'm in my fucking sleeping bag. And we deposit her in the sleeping bag while we're taking our shoes off. She goes right up top of mine. Donuts. Circle, 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 donut. And I knew my mission that night. So the first time ever, and probably the first time and only time ever, I let her sleep with me. Right beside me. Nuzzled up. Slept right here. And a little arm around her. And I was terrified of crushing her the entire night. I had the worst sleep of my life. I was waking up constantly because I was so terrified that I was going to kill our dog. Alright, because sleeping bags are not large either, so she could barely fit in there. So I had to constantly be waking up, readjusting, making sure she's good. She'd circle, she'd try and get up in my chest. Her breath was awful. I had to move her back down. It was terrible. It was the worst experience. Thank you, Ella. Appreciate it. It was the worst. It was not adorable, Ella. It was the worst experience. And that dog, man. That dog, she became clingy after that. Now she just thinks she's entitled to being stuck to my hip at this point in time. So, no reference to how large normal goats are. Have you not seen a goat before, really? Perfect atmosphere for a ranger-based TTRPG. I mean, it would be, realistically. The Rocky Mountains are pretty majestic, honestly. Ella posted some pictures in the Fitness Challenge channel of our trip. Where did she post? Oh yeah, just some waterfalls. We cooked some stuff on a fire. We did. There it is. There it is. We saw a lake. We went to Upper Lake. That was cool. It was a bit of a drive, but it was worth it. I saw some mountain goats. There you go, just licking the roadkill, doing what they do, you know. Had a little fire, made a ribeye steak in a cast iron pan, you know, as you do when you have a cast iron pan and a fire. Saw some butterflies doing some weird butterfly shit. I don't know what that was. That was kind of, you know, monka. Yeah, man, that was I don't think Ella got. I don't think she posted one of the really great pictures of the mountain. Let me see if I can post a picture of the whole lake in the channel. Because the lake is really one of the highlights for me. That is Upper Lake Kananaskis, which is one of our provincial parks. Here's Zibsy went down to the Badlands. Gotta ask Zibsy about our dinosaur experience. Our Badlands, the province Zibsy and I live in, are notorious for dinosaurs. I think we're gonna go camping down there at some point in time later this summer. Where is it? Fitness challenge. Okay. All right. Where? There we go. That's the one. That's the one. All right, check this shit out. Wait, it's not loading. Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, so this is where we went. Those are some mountains, man. Those are some mountains, bro. It did start to rain though at some point in time, which sucked. It rained for about 3 hours, maybe less actually, about 2 hours. So we had to sit under our tarp for that time. Then after it cleared up, the blue sky came out, and it was beautiful after that. So it was good. We went. There's a hike. So the hike that I want to do by the end of summer is I want to do an entire hike around this entire lake. It's about 15 kilometers, about what, 10 miles around the entire lake. The only thing that's like nerve-wracking about this is there are tons of bear sightings in this area. So it's the kind of thing where you have to get up there early-ish in the morning, and you have to find a group of people to go hiking with, because you're less likely to have a bear encounter if there's like 6 of you. But I want to do this entire lake at some point in time. So yeah, I don't know. It was good. It was good. It was a lot of fun. Feel well rested. That's not true. I had the worst night of my life yesterday night, or the night before, because of Yuna. But I don't blame her. I just blame owning her. So I blame myself and Ella for that dog. Yep. Gonna sit back from the Academy Challenge this month. Welcome to Destiny. Knew that my mom passed away in her sleep last night. Sorry for being heavy. Damn, Flower, dude. Of course, your last thought should be about challenges or commitments or anything like that. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That's crushing. I hope you're doing what you got to do today. I hope you got your family around you. That's so bad. Damn, dude. Damn, yeah. Of course, Flower. We'll be here any point in time. You know, the challenge will be available. Don't even worry about that. For now, please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself, your family. Damn, bro. I'm so sorry to hear that. Shit. She is, though. Wait, Yuna? Character development, the plot getting good between Evident and High Summoner. I am not new. No, I am not going to... I'm not going to start a new bonding arc with Yuna. We're not suddenly... Okay, she did sleep on my side of the bed last night. She has been trying to get up and nuzzle up against me more recently, and I hate it. This dog is supposed to be Ella's dog. I don't want it. No thank you. Have you ever been out to the Rocky Mountains, Viddy? There's like, I don't know. Sam, Viddy, I forget sometimes that this is where I, live. You know? And, some people, I forget people like this. And there's a lot, we get a lot of tourism from, Australia in the winter, because that's summer for Australians and it's too fucking hot, so they come up here and they go snowboarding and shit. We get a lot of tourism from Australia. We get a lot of tourism from Japan as well. A ton of tourism from Japan. If you go to Banff, there's a lot of signage in Japanese, and we get a ton of tourism from the UK. All right, there are, man, if you see a smartly dressed man in Canmore or Banff, Alberta, and you go up to them and you say, "Excuse me, sir, do you have the time?" You are likely to encounter an English gentleman pulling out a pocket watch or some shit that's, I don't know, particularly English. Dude, English dudes love, here in the UK, fucking love our mountains. It's so strange to think that, you live in some shit London apartment, or whatever, and you have a dumb family that you don't like, and your wife is mad at you, and your kids hate you, and you make a shitty living at your job, and you can only go on a vacation once every 10 fucking years because you're so underpaid and London's so fucking expensive at your dumb job at the eel cannery or whatever. And you have one vacation that you can be able to take when Margaret is 12 and Winston is 16 years old, and then that's the only vacation they get as kids, and that's the only family vacation you get. And you're like, where should we go in our vacation, our family vacation? Shall we take the children, because that's what they call them over there. They call them the children, all right? Here we call them the kids. Shall we take the children to Paris Disneyland? No. Should we take them to the exotic East and travel across Japan or to Hong Kong? No. Shall we excursion down through India? Safari in Africa? No. Let's go to Banff, Alberta, and see some fucking mountains, bro. It's like you could have done so many better things than go to Banff. You fucked up. I'm sorry. But like they love it, man. They love it. I always talk to them. It's like, yeah, man. So what makes you want to come down and see, you know, the Rocky Mountains? And they're like, oh, you don't understand. This is beautiful. You can see mountains are so big and vast. Nothing like what we have in Europe. Like, okay, like you guys have mountains there, I guess. You know, this is mountain's a mountain. Like, I don't know. I don't understand, but it always makes me appreciate where I live a little bit. So, go Camp Dinosaur. Great stuff. Bring shade shelter of some sort. They have portable water and it's pretty decent. Drumheller is a great brewery. Drumheller is a good time. I'm probably gonna do a day trip without Una to Drumheller sometime soon because of the museum out there is kind of. Oh shit! Yeah, Sam, if you've heard about the Museum of Drumheller, the Royal Tyrrell Museum. The Royal Tyrrell Museum, actually, is where I got my first recognition as a professional artist. Some may not know, but I actually was recognized there with distinction. All right? It was at the Royal Tyrrell Museum in which I first earned my very prestigious artist award. That's right. I first earned a very important award for the best art in my category. I won a competition for art for dinosaur drawing. It was a competition that was based around making up your own dinosaur, and I was 4.5 years old, so I won the 4 to 5 category. Or no, 4 to 7 or something like that. It was like 4 to 7 or whatever. It was like embarrassing that I beat like some dumbass fucking 7-year-old that's actually been into real school. Fucking losers, all right? Get wrecked. I haven't even been through kindergarten. I'm still wet in the bed when I won that competition, bitch. Yeah, I won my very first art competition for the Royal Tyrrell Museum. So I had to go out there, and I went out there. And it was all framed. There was a gallery night, and I got my picture taken. And I got a little award, and I have no idea where it is now. So, you know. Okay, hold on. Check stream topics. What's the stream topics? Stream topics. Ella, please do not dress our dog in rainwear. She does not like it. She clearly does not want her rain jacket on. If she does not want a rain jacket on, please do not force her to wear her rain jacket. This is not. Listen, it's I don't care if it's raining. Who's that picture of your lot? Yeah, I can take pictures of the museum. It's a good time. Drumheller is a cool place. It doesn't feel like Alberta though. But I did see Zibsy. I did see in your post something that caught my eye when you went down to the Badlands. All right, you guys didn't see Zibsy. Also on an adventure this weekend. Few kms short of halfway to mesh your car. Excellent, good job. They have a cactus in Alberta. I did not know that we had a cactus. I didn't know we had a cactus. I knew we had Badlands. I knew we had like dumb rocks and dinosaurs and like old people and dunes and shit, but I did not know that we could afford a cactus in Alberta. And so I need to add to my list of things to go see in Drumheller. I hope they have them in Drumheller. A particularly grumpy cactus. But it's amazing to think that this, just imagine this right here. Okay. What you're seeing right here. And this right here. I guess it's not really mountainy. Are in the same province. Probably 3 hours away from each other. 3-hour drive-ish. Maybe a little bit less. But these two places are about 3 hours away from each other where we live. So, I mean, I don't know exactly where Zipsy went in the Badlands, but I'm just thinking of the edge of the Badlands and the edge of the mountains is probably like 2 hours. So if you go a little bit deeper into both, it's, we got a crazy province, man. It's like cow. This is cow, right? C. I think this is Cow Two-Face, if I recall the anime profile picture. Out there walking. That's good shit. Venus, 70 kilometers of 100. That's pretty good. Steph with the late update. Late update, doing what I can, where I can, something for being in the office full time. This is impressive, I think, for being stuck in a fucking office all day. All right, this is good, dude. That's like, I'm impressed, man. You guys are kind of crushing this challenge. A lot more people are into it than I thought would be this far in. You know, Vidi has been buying geeses. All right, many geese. Congratulations, Vidi. Guapo made it to the fortress, so Guapo's waiting for us at the fortress. I don't know, man. Look at this shit, man. Look at how nice this is. Day 5, and he's got his Doge and some fucking wall vines or whatever. He went to like Italy or some shit. Like, these are some adventures, man. This worked out much better than I could have possibly ever asked for, where we get to see different parts of the world and different cool shit on different walks and basically go on an adventure. This is really cool. There are people in our guild going to these kind of places. Man, we're going to mountains and badlands and just see cactus and fucking bobcats and retired people. You know, like this is the exact way that I could have. I don't know. I could not have asked for a better fitness challenge so far. You guys have made this amazing. Seeing all the cool places has been absurd. So, all right. They would straight up admit to bullying a 7-year-old. When I was 4, yes. When I was 4, I bullied the shit out of those 7-year-olds. All right. How the fuck did they lose to a 4-year-old? Like, what a bunch of idiots. And they realize, but I do realize to themselves tonight. Yeah, when you're 4, you do. That's for sure. Weather appropriate clothing, just one cactus. Yeah, only one cactus in Alberta. That's all we got. That one's the prickly pear cacti. There's another one that blooms with pink flowers, very pretty. I don't think I've ever seen that, to be honest. And I haven't been down to the Badlands all that often, but that's good, Ashy. Because since past weekend, so I wasn't able to get steps in. I'll catch up soon though. Yeah, that's all good. I had a bit of a slow start to the month. Let's hold on. Let me do an update. Let me see where I'm at. I can calculate my walks because I think I'm behind a little bit based on my goals because I had a really bad knee injury to start. Let's see. All right, back to the first. How far we walked? 5, 11, 22, 23, 28, 30, 36. 36, 42, 40, 43, 55, 60, 65, 75, 79, 81. About 81 kilometers in. I've done about 81 kilometers of dedicated walk. So this doesn't count for like pacing around my house or whatever. It's 81 kilometers of... You can't just cheer 100 bits. Didn't you read the rules? You can just cheer 100 bits. Where's the TTS? How am I supposed to just... Thank you for 100 bits. I appreciate it. Thank you, dude. Thank you. That means a lot. So, fuck. So about 80 kilometers, about halfway at the halfway point. That makes sense then. Because it's the 15th today, right? No, it's 14th. About halfway at the halfway point to the 160 kilometer goal, or 100 miles. I'm up the Pega. So, yeah. Whether or not I should join the walking challenge since I do the walks on a regular and I'm actually awkward. That's offensive, Sienna. That you would use your awkwardness as a reason not to post in the challenge channel. I can listen. I can without a doubt guarantee everyone in here is awkward. Steph, extremely awkward. Have you ever talked about corporate Notion planning with her? All right. Venus, awkward. Artist, cow to face. Writes fantasy. That's awkward. Kind of yikes. You know, Zibsy, extremely awkward. Who has that as a profile picture, right? You know, who else is awkward? Vidi's string talking about fucking D&D yesterday for like, who talked about D&D on Twitch? Lie, that's awkward. Guapo, the most awkward, you know. Ella, have you ever spoken to Ella? Exactly.
Filiformia bivaroidea hyenidae.
Did I? Did I forget to change the TTS voice? I think I forgot to change the TTS voice.
Testing.
I forgot. I'm so shit. Actually, what the fuck even is that? Is that a flower? Yeah, shit. I painted that. I know you did, Zibsy. Congratulations, you're an amazing artist. It's a hyena. Okay, one sec. Why do I feel like it's not a hyena? This is like a hyena girl from some like Ito interspecies reviewers or whatever. Why did my chat just reset? Oh, it's actually a hyena. Wait, isn't this thing extinct? Isn't this like the rare, like, extinct hyena? Are you flexing on me with your extinct species knowledge, Ashy? Or maybe it is still an anime thing, I don't know. Thank you for 100 bits, Ashy. I appreciate that. Thank you, Viddy, for 100 bits. I definitely did forget to change the TTS. So, there's that. We're gonna have to deal with that today. I hope no one minds. I hope nobody's upset about it, because I probably will forget to change it for the rest of the stream as well. So, anyway, wait, is S Sienna posting 500 miles? Excellent, you walked 800 kilometers in total. Oh shit, dude. Oh shit. Look at that, man. You got your app going. That's fucking sick, man. The app I use is a weird name, but it's what I've watched so far. I like this. I like this. This is good shit. A marathon, a short hike, a Roman holiday, conquer Olympus, London to Paris through the Channel. Damn, bro. All right, this is sick. Yeah.
Switch quotes. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
Okay, alright, that's enough of that. Okay, listen, we gotta switch voices. Okay, hold on, let me go to Streamlabs. Fuck, alert box, bits. Shit, wait, hold on, before we start doing stuff today. TTS, setting, alright, does anyone have any suggestions? Any suggestions? The legacy voices? Fuck the legacy voices. Gwynth? Penelope? Miguel? Oh. Tatiana? Cristiano?
If we don't go back to Brian, I'm gonna be Poliotto.
You want to go back to Brian? You don't want to try something different for a little bit? You don't want to try, like, Carl? Let's try Carl. We'll try Carl. We'll see if Carl's a keeper, and if not, we'll go back to Brian. Alright. Alright, there you go. We're on Carl. Thank you for 100 bits. I appreciate it, Viddy. Alright. Let's move that over there. Boom. Alright, so. Today, I guess I'll have to suffer this TTS all day. We definitely don't have to. That's not, I mean, you can do Davis, can you?
Request Davis.
That's pretty good. Alright. Can you do Davis? Hold on. Carl. Where's English? Welsh. English US. You have Joanne, Sally, Kimberly, Kendra, Justin, and Joey, and Matthew. There's no Davis. There's no Davis, I'm sorry. There's French Canadian. English, British. Where's Brian? What the fuck? Brian. go. All right, fine. Brian has been reinstated. There. Okay. Brian is back. He's under Legacy or UK. Yeah, you can search my names. Davis isn't, though. Thank you, 100 bits, Viddy. Thank you, Adoria. I appreciate it. Cheers, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Ashy. Thank you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I appreciate it. All right. So, today I wanted to work on my first fan art piece I'm ever doing. Lilith, because I'm enjoying Diablo 3. 4.
I'm
Shit.
back, boy. Backstreet's back. Orangutan.
Here it is. There are some words that only Brian can say. Orangutan is one of it. Thank you, Viddy. I appreciate that. 800 bits. So yeah, we're gonna draw some demons today because I'm feeling dark fantasy. I've been feeling dark fantasy recently. I've been doing dark fantasy in my D&D game. I've been getting weird looks from my players. I went a little too dark the other day with some of my players though. I got the dude not cool, you know, which is like something rare for me. I don't get dude not cool all that often as a DM. But basically, DMs have this like idea that you should never do anything in your game that makes your players uncomfortable. But if you once in a while get a dude not cool, then I think you're doing it right. Because after all, what is the point of playing D&D if you can't get a dude not cool once in a while? Right? Shoulder blades look like. Hold on. They visited a paladin order that I had established in game, mostly to be a somewhat antagonistic order of good paladins that did some like pretty wacky shit. And I got dude not cool by one of my players. Now that player was a little bit more, listen, I'm not gonna call any of my players out. That would be irresponsible, unprofessional, and you know, just kind of a dick move. So I won't call out my players for being little pissy whiny babies. All right, but I will say that this player in particular, his opinion on D&D and dark fantasy. Now I either confirm or deny this. I'm willing to be told that I'm the bad guy here. All right, I'm willing to be told that I'm the villain. I had something in one of my descriptors of what was going on, what they see when they get to the cathedral. So I described some of the ways that they treat like where they got their reputation from. They have a reputation as being a very intense paladin order. Okay? And they gained that reputation in some of the more zealous ways that they treat the heretics and tainted, the unclean, sinners, things like that, right? And amongst those was descriptions of the thralls that were wandering around the dark corridors. And when the players tried to speak to one, and the paladin walking with them kind of informed them that they will not speak with you. They cannot speak, for their eyes and tongues have been cut out. They may speak no sins, nor see no sins. In the darkness they repent until their days are over. They die as honored spirits of Burovich. I was like, damn, what the fuck? You cut out their eyes and their tongues? What the fuck, Evan? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean, what the fuck? This is how you... It's dark fantasy, bro. I'm like, okay, alright. But they went out into the courtyard to like go between the cathedral and the barracks. And they saw these figures hanging from kind of like gallows, I guess, type thing, like rope gallows out in the courtyard. Or basically what they did is, for people who were unforgivable sinners, what they do is they tie their hands behind their back, all right, with like barbed wire basically, and then they'd put a rope through their arms and hang them up by their arms, and they would write their sins or like a prayer of forgiveness along with their sins in their own blood all over their body, and then they would add weights every single day, Okay, they'd add weights to their ankles with their sins inscribed upon the weights. So that slowly over time, they would break them, and they'd fall down to their deaths, sort of like in the pit below. And when my players looked at me, I was like, dude. I was like, what? He's like, that's kind of dark, don't you think? I was like, well, that Paladin Order is particularly dark, yeah? Like, dude, not cool, man. I got dude not cool. Now here's why I have a hard time referencing this player. I told him this to his face, why I have a hard time taking his opinion seriously on what is too dark in D&D. What is too far. And you might be thinking, wow, Evan, that is not cool. That you made a player uncomfortable. Okay, fair. Let me give you one last piece of information that might change your opinion on this. That player is a self-identified brony. Love you, bronies. Love you. No animosity between me and the bronies. But let's face it. Let's face it. Y'all aren't going to have a good opinion on Dark Fantasy. I'm not going to the bronies. All right? I'm not asking the bronies about Dark Fantasy. Their opinions, I'm sorry, guys. I love you. I love what you do. You do your thing. You have fun. You make your stories up. You got your fucking, rainbow hats on with the unicorn horn. You wear the conventions. And you walk around, don't give a fuck what people think about you. I love you guys. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to take their opinions seriously on Dark Fantasy. All right? So, I did get dude not cooled by one of my players, but it was the brony in the group. So that doesn't seem like I should heed the warning. Right? I don't know what you guys would do. But for me, it just doesn't seem like I should, like a warning worth paying attention to, in my opinion. What would you guys do? If you got do not cooled in your D&D game, but it was from the brony in the group, would you care? A certain level of do not cool that is acceptable. There is. Yeah, of course there is. Because, although, to be fair, the Diablo player in the group was just like, casual. Wait, are they written with their own blood or the blood of virgins? I was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, man. When they fall into a pit, are they chained back up again, cut in half, so their entrails fall out and are kept alive with some sort of a light divining spell, keeping their heart beating, even though they feel the awful pain of their organs falling from them every day and being picked by crows? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, okay, that's pretty casual then. It's like, god damn it, man, the Diablo players, they need to chill, okay? The Diablo players in the group need to chill. So he wasn't even upset. The brony player was pretty mad about it, so I don't know. It's a good Paladin Order. Nicely done. Is it? All right. Okay. Can't say anything about this. This is me. It's not even mildly spicy. That's the thing. I didn't think that was most definitely minus 1,000 cares. It's not my statement. See if they still have the same opinion after the story arc resolves. But do you take the opinions of the player in your group that is the brony seriously about what is too dark in your group? Because if anyone's going to be like, this wasn't discussed in the session 0, it'll be the brony. Again, love the bronies. No, nothing against them. Nothing whatsoever against the bronies, all right? They want to do their own thing. That's great. The bronies and the furries, they're totally allowed. The weebs are in. Everybody's allowed in to play D&D here, okay? Everybody's accepted. Whatever weird thing you're into, it's fine. We still accept and love you here at TDC. When the fuck did... There we go. Yeah, still love you guys. Maybe want the first to stay away from my dog. Besides that, everybody's welcome. But it does mean that there is going to need to be a, I guess a little basis of, who we're listening to for what. And I don't think we're going to listen to the bronies about Dark Fantasy, or what's too far in Dark Fantasy. Coincidentally, we also won't listen to the Diablo players for what is, for the beach episode. Right? Right? See? We can be balanced. You're like, okay, so you find a hot springs run by a small family of Rokari fox people. Players are like, oh, that's nice. Diablo players just like, are they all stretched inside out across nails? Like, no. Oh. Are the hot springs full of blood? No. Bad Diablo player. Down. Down. Right? We're not going to necessarily listen to them on that, so... But using your players for their skill sets, their strengths. Player Brony knows is going to be dim dark, because then they should have known what they're getting themselves into. No, I don't ever explain that kind of shit at the beginning of my game. That's for fucking losers. Who explains how the dark their D&D game's going to be at the beginning of it? Session zeros are for geeks. There you go. I said it. I said it. I was the only one to say it, even though everybody knows it's true. Yep. Session zeros are for fucking geeks. Oh, does everyone have their safe word written down? My safe word is mango salsa. If I ever say mango salsa, I want us to drop whatever we're talking about in game and move on without bringing up why. Thank you. Alright, you get into the dungeon. There are 3 succubi torturing the souls of a few people. You see a large jar cage with the souls writhing, formless, shapeless, but you do hear the screams. What do you guys do? Mango salsa. Oh, okay. Sorry, I meant it was 3 ponies. 3 ponies tickling animated marshmallows. That's right. Sorry, I meant spicy succubus and torture. I meant 3 ponies tickling the marshmallow spirits. That's what I meant. Okay, good. We all good? We on the same page now? Okay, great. You know I'm right. The power's in the blood. Yeah, apparently. The hospitals are filled with flesh-eating beetles. Ah, shit. There's opinions way to mine. Answer next start, go full brony, make the rest of the group wildly uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't think I can do that for my sake, though, Biddy. They weighed down by crushing torment of their own decisions. God damn it. God damn it. Fucking Diablo players. Y'all are too dark, bro. We need to... Call me a geek then? That's fine. I don't like it. I don't like session zeros. I find them awkward. I find them awkward and overall meaningless. Realistically, for me, if I'm going into a D&D game, like a slightly longer term D&D game, I will go as far as saying like, yeah, it's a bit of a darker game, you know, or the world is a dark place where life is cheap. And I just avoid topics that generally make people uncomfortable. Right? There's things that here's an example. Spiders make people uncomfortable. Bugs in general don't. Not on like an existential level. Sometimes people can have existential fear of spiders, but they don't have existential fears of bugs. So if you're like trying to describe the real sort of wretched conditions of this cave, you can talk about how the walls drip and there are eyes in the dark and there are bugs crawling around at your feet. And people are like, ooh, so spooky. But as soon as you say there's spiders everywhere, people are like, ah, Jesus, stop, Evan. Right? It's one of those, it's like, I find session zeros to often be a failing of common sense for most people. And if somebody is so fragile that like anything could potentially ruin their D&D game for them, then I think they need to make that clear up front, and it's not the session zero's job to do that. It's their job to sort of say like, hey, I recognize that I am like in the sort of like minority here of people that can't tolerate certain shit. So I can't tolerate this in my D&D game. Is that cool? No? Great. Cool. Thanks. Thanks for the offer. I will be stepping out. I will be playing with you guys. I appreciate you. You know, and then you just quietly excuse yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. As a GM, if one of your players does that, there's no, you know, that's great. You just let them do it, and you don't make a big deal of it, and you love them anyway. Mango salsa, your hat being shiny is offensive. Let's move past your hat. Mango salsa. Oh shit, my hat's shiny. It's pretty shiny actually. You're right. Whimsyshire, yeah. I'll make sure people are getting into with me as DM. Here's what I think, Sienna. Here's my actual opinion on that. Run a 3 to 4 session campaign for them. Make every one of your campaigns 3 to 4 session starting at a point where your players can check out at that point if they don't like it. So like have it be the first quest is they all need to go to a town and they need to like meet up because somebody wants them to investigate why the local stream is corrupted. And so you do that, and then on the quest, you're like, oh my god, the corruption is so much bigger. Look, we found a blade of the dark elves here. So what we need to do is we need to like now take the blade, you know, now we've solved the corruption, we need to take the dark blade to the necromantic wizard in the tower in the next town, and then they're like, oh, well, you need to go figure this out. Are you up for the challenge, young adventurers? Well, gosh, sure, necromancer, we sure are. And then at that point in time, you give players an opportunity to be like, wow, that was fun. Well, you know, Dorgrast, the barbarian, says, wow, this seems like a good time for me to go back home. I only came along to try and preserve the village. Now I need to go back and raise my guinea pigs. And you'll give them a point, an exit point, right? But the problem is when you sit there at length describing all the things that you want or don't want out of a D&D game, to me, that's such a failing of like the social capabilities of humans that I just can't be a part of it. It's just so cringy to watch. Now, some people do session 0 is okay. Some people are very chill about it. But I mean, in general, when you talk about session 0, the vast majority of people are talking about these big, long, drawn-out emotional discussions where you fucking go over your backstories and have safety words and talk about what is and isn't on the table and fantasy, and just it's just so like you can get through all that kind of stuff just by reading your players, figuring out what your players like, what they don't like. Hey, whenever I bring up the brothel, that makes Cynthia unhappy. Maybe I won't make prostitution a core component of this story's arc. I don't know. Hey, when I describe the gratuitous way in which something explodes into a mist of blood, that makes Derek a little quiet. So maybe I won't be as graphic with my descriptions of blood and gore. Great. And then you move on. You know, to sit there and have a session 0 where everyone like starts a shopping list of things that they like and don't like in a D&D game, things that are uncomfortable or whatever, it ruins the vibe for me so fast that I find that you can do it more effectively by just fucking paying attention to your players. And I resent the idea a lot of people have about session 0s being the only way to do that. There's like this like superiority complex people have over session 0s, like it's the only way to have a safe environment for your players. Which I think is bullshit. I think lots of players and lots of groups do it anyway without... That's why I just talk so much shit about Session 0. Partially because I think it's funny, but... I have Session 0 with form that I have people fill ahead of time just to know there's something major, like cancer or whatever. That's the thing. I just don't cover that because most people most people don't like to talk about real world diseases that kill people. I just don't bring them up. You're like, oh yeah, the local mayor came down with a plague, a curse, or whatever, and their time is short. That's fine, but once you're like, oh, this like direct thing that your dad might have, or that your, you know, long lost brother died from, it's like, okay, just avoid that shit altogether. That's one of those things that I think is like super easy. You just avoid it. You don't need Session 0 necessarily to say like, we're gonna avoid these kind of things or whatever. Because like very few people like it, if that makes sense. And I'm not convinced it adds to the story in a lot of ways. So that's why I don't have gratuitous violence. I don't have gratuitous sex in my game. I have a whole bunch of stuff that's kind of like the real world stuff that people are uncomfortable with that I just like generally avoid. A lot of topics that I don't bring into my game that were topics of, you know, the Middle Ages. Very few crimes are like sexual crimes in my games because that just makes people uncomfortable. And I don't think it adds to, like, you can describe someone as being a despicable individual without them doing, like, horrendously despicable things that makes people in your group kind of go, ugh. You can describe it without gratuity. I don't have anything like that. I don't do any forums or fucking discussions or whatever ahead of time. And you know what? I've never had a problem, either. With people that I've, like, I've like thought about playing for long term with, I've never had a problem with anybody. So I don't know where the internet gets this idea from that like if you don't have a session 0, like are people just playing D&D randomly with people they don't know all the time? Is that just the way people play D&D now? If so, hey, maybe session 0s are useful, you know? What's up, Mitico? Basically one-on-one sessions to get them worked into the world and a little use to their character. That's cool. That's not bad. Overall description of the game, what might call a summary, indicates the themes and whatnot. Yeah, I do sort of talk about that ahead of time a little bit at the game, like not as formal session 0, where I do say like, hey guys, this is like a heroic adventure, right? So you don't end up making like Harry Potter characters or whatever. You end up making more like Lord of the Ringsian characters. People do what they want anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Dire guinea pigs, my bad. Sorry. Okay, when everyone does what they feel works for them, no judgment here. Yeah, true. Type session 0 is good if you've never played with a group before. As your friends, you should feel pretty comfortable and be able to read the room. I don't play with people I don't know. Is that a privileged statement for me? Do I not have to deal with this session 0 bullshit because I don't play with people I don't know? Because I don't have to play with people I don't know because I know a ton of people that want to play D&D. Like that's one thing that maybe is like if you want to convince me that I'm like okay man, like they are useful, you're missing one part, you're missing something here, Evan. Maybe that's what you could convince me I'm missing, is that I don't ever have to play people I don't know, and I don't like people to play people I don't know. All right, if I'm playing with somebody and they're like, oh, my girlfriend wants to play with us. She wants to play D&D with us. I'm like, cool, let's hang out. Oh, you mean like hang out and play in the D&D game? No, like let's hang out and just like chill. And we'll get to know each other and stuff. Oh, but that's not D&D. I know. Very aware of it. I think playing with people you don't know is the surefire speedrun way to have a bad fucking time when you're playing D&D. And that getting to know people very casually ahead of time is the best strategy against for mitigating against disaster in your D&D games. You know? Session 0s are for like, I went on Reddit and found 5 guys in 10 sessions and one is harassing my girlfriend. That's kind of what I feel like. For all the defenses I ever hear of session 0s being good, seems like you went and found your group on fucking 4chan. Which, is that the way people are finding their D&D groups now for the most part? Are y'all going and getting them off of Facebook pages or whatever? And I'm just missing out here. I'm willing to rethink my opinions on session 0s. If everybody's playing with people they don't know. Well, how does this arm thing work? Pretty simple. This needs to be longer though. Like, where are y'all finding your groups, man? My game mastering business, yeah, a lot of time I don't know them. Oh, so that's a bad time, I think. I used to GM people at the game store that I worked for that I didn't know, but that fucking sucks. And at that point, I don't think that the form or the session 0 was useful. I think basically just use your common sense not to touch on any topics that people find like spicy or whatever. At that point, I think you just play super fucking chill, and then you add that into your game as you go. You sort of like feel people out. You do the dance of figuring out how like into dark fantasy or high fantasy or whatever any individual person is. How weeb is the weeb? How savable are they? Yeah, I don't care, man. My opinion hasn't really changed. Session 0s are cringe. It's just like so common now that it's like weird. I know everybody does it. And I'm the one that just like says fuck that shit. Get into the game, meet your players, talk about their characters. Maybe a session 0 just to like figure it for players who want to have their characters are involved with the story or involved with the world, right? Like only one of my players actually said they want to have any involvement in the world, and one of my players, like for the last game that I had in my group with like Ella. She was the only one that said, hey, how can I be involved with the world? I want to have a character that is like kind of like part of the story. I'm like, cool, let's talk about that. So is that considered to be a session 0 for some people? If so, I mean, I guess I am in favor of session 0s. You ever had to? It's valid. I run a lot of one-shots, campaigns with new players all the time. Having at least one, or having at least a rundown. Rundowns are fine, but I'm talking about session 0. What I say, so let's not mix what like a pre-game discussion and a session 0 are. All right, pre-game discussion is like saying, hey man, this is what the game's gonna be like. You know, so you can hear some background info, so you can make your character and figure out what you want to do. You know, dark fantasy games can be very difficult, so I'd suggest trying to balance a party if you care about that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna be afraid to kill your characters, so I want you guys to really feel like you earn any rewards you get and any progression you get, so make sure you do that. You know, that's not a session 0 as far as session 0s are considered. That's like just a quick rundown, which is fine. Everybody should do that. You know, why not? I mean, you don't have to. I'm talking about session 0s as this big performative exercise where you're like all sit down in a circle and you're like, and now we'll discuss how to have fun together. It's like, okay, mom, like, all right. Did you bring the orange slices? We're talking about how to play nice with each other. Like, chill. What a mood killer. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about session 0s, all right? I'm not talking about the rundowns. The rundowns are fine. I don't have anything against the rundowns. I'm talking about, like, the TikTok D&D discussion Andes over there. That's what I mean when I talk about session 0s. This is like tutorials for newbies, I think. Yeah, tutorials. Yeah, if you call, I wouldn't call it tutorial session 0. I'd call that like a tutorial. So, you need to test the water, see how deep I can go. Yeah, I think you do that through playing the game, though. You know, even established friend groups. Sometimes you've never hit a certain topic. In campaign 3 of my group, I know they literally had a filter. What? Filter of love views in 2 characters, and the DM pushed on them to RP it out. That's RP out that scene. Oh, see, like that just seems like you wouldn't touch that anyway. You just say, all right, so you know, you two have been infected with this love whatever potion. What do you do? And then you get real fast from them. You get responses like, oh, I guess I'm infatuated. I'm like, okay, got it. Players want to RP it. Moving on. You know, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that needed a discussion ahead of time. It seems like a failure to read the room in the moment. That's like one of my big problems with session 0s, is that they always seem like a failure to read the fucking room in the moment. And they're like, oh no, we could have saved this awkward encounter by having a session 0 to discuss what we're okay with. Or you just read the room at the time and say, this doesn't fly. Cool, we're gonna move on. I do that all the time with my players. All the fucking time, bruh. You know? That's what I'm saying, like, why the session 0 is ultimately useless is because it is the idea that I resent the idea that is the only way that you can actually have a safe environment in your D&D table, is by having a fucking session 0. I think you can do so just fine by reading your players and reading the room really well. Session 0s are just major vibe settings for me. Getting the homies together, talking about who's going to play what, and touch base where you want the campaign to go. For some reason, though, the TTRPG space seems to think you can throw common sense out the door once session 0 happens. Thank you, CJ. That is a very elegant way of summarizing a lot of my problems with session 0s. Is that session 0, if you're talking about like, oh, we're just getting the homies together and chilling and talking about like who's gonna be the dwarf of the group, who's gonna have the biggest dick of the group, who's gonna be, you know, whatever. Figure out what you want. Figure out whatever you're gonna play. Oh man, we're gonna all play paladins. Ah shit, that's gonna be bad. That's fine. But it's like once you've had the session 0, you need to like have this like massive fucking bring down discussion where you all talk about what your kinks are and your fucking turnoffs on a session 0. Like, nah man, that like miss me with that shit. That's the kind of stuff that I don't, and that's why I don't consider just a rundown. Like what you described is a rundown. I don't consider that like a session 0. Session 0 is like a checklist. Session 0 is you have to have like you have to discuss topics that aren't on the table. past traumas, bad experiences you've had with previous DMs, and how to avoid, right? Like, it's so performative and self-indulging that it's not even useful anymore. You know?
Phobias and turn-offs? No. Kinks? Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Thank you, 100 bits. I appreciate it, Guapo. Yuna. I'm getting stirred up. Yeah, I mean, I want everybody to be comfortable in like table. I just don't think you need a session 0 to have people comfortable at your table, you know? You know, the player uses the filter of love. The other two players probably wouldn't both benefit from at least establishing safe word or something. So it would have been as hard to just get fade to black. Why can't a player say, okay, Yuna, stop growling at me. I'll hold your damn chew for you, you fucking goblin. I don't think that's, I think that if a player fails to say to fade it to black, I think that is the player's fault and the DM's fault. But I don't think that a fucking safe word is the most effective way to fade to black. I think as the DM, you should always default to fading to black. And if your players want to push it, then they can. Right? Let me tell you how I handled something in my a similar situation in one of my D&D games. One of the players was like, oh, I go to the brothel or whatever, and she's trying to get information. So she's looking for somebody that can do it, a job for them. And then she's like, well, while I'm here, I go up to the brothel manager and I say, hey, I'm looking for somebody with these characteristics. And, they say, well, we don't have anything like that, but we do have something similar like this. And she's like, okay, all right, I'll take her up on the offer and I'll pay the whatever gold and I'll go up to the room. And I'm like, okay, all right. So you go up to the room, you see the gentleman described to you waiting for you in the room, and you spend the rest of the night doing whatever it is you're gonna do. Anyway, so two other players. You just default to that. It's not fucking hard. It's not, like it's such a failure. It's such a failure of imagination to feel like you need to describe everything. Gratuitous violence, gratuitous sexuality, gratuitous nudity, gratuitous anything in D&D and storytelling in general is so fucking lazy. And all the problems of like needing safe words and all this shit to like avoid those instances, I feel like are a failure to recognize the power in imagination, the power in fading to black, So, when I hear these stories of like, oh, well, we had a session 0 would have benefited here, because we had this or that problem. I think like a little common sense would have benefited as well. Let's not pretend like the session 0 is the only way that we could have avoided this like awkward run-in where you have two of your bros like making out IRL because they're trying to RP how their characters are making out with each other in game. Wait, was that just my group? Ah, shit. Wait a minute, I had a weird group in high school. Bigger block time session 0 is helping new players find out how to make the character, which is fine, and which again, I don't consider that a session 0. That is just like sort of a rundown or tutorial. TikTok's definition of session 0 is not what I use for session 0. 0 to me is when you describe the pregame as a pregame discussion, which is fine, totally, yeah. And I think though that when you generally say in the D&D crowd that like this is your idea of a session 0, it's like efficient use of terminology. We all know what we're talking about when we say a session 0. We all know what we're talking about when we talk about a pregame rundown. Nobody thinks that a pregame rundown has safe words, and nobody thinks that a session 0 doesn't. That's like kind of the way that it works, unfortunately. And so they might have like co-opted the term session 0 and ruined it, but unfortunately the term is then thusly ruined, and we have to find a different way around it, So I'm totally in favor of pregame rundowns, 100%, man. But the performative session 0 is where I take offense to it, because it's this idea that it's the only, and you know where it comes from. It comes from people who want to talk about D&D with authority, and people who talk about D&D with authority say there's only one way you can do something, and I'm going to tell you how to do that now. Which is why they say, hey, if you want to avoid awful things at your table, the way you do that is with a session 0. Now let me tell you about the session 0 and how to do it for the next 20 seconds so you don't click off of my TikTok. And so they talk about such authority, but there's a sense of like there's no other way to do it. You see the same thing with art, right? They're like, oh my god, if you want to do this with art, well, here's how you do it. And then it's like, wait, or Wait, hold on. Hold on. There's other ways you can do it. And so we're more also discussing, like, we have to separate what is like sort of our ideas and versus what is the main consensus sort of definition of it. Because for a lot of people, I definitely support the way they handle their pregame discussions, but it is unfortunately the idea of session zeros that get lost in there. You know, some level people need a session zero, proper noun, the trophy safe word discussion, and the boundaries are people, or wait, are the people who would never respect the session zero? People who need a session zero are the people who would never respect the session zero. People who need one are the people who wouldn't respect it. So do you think, Ashley, that it ultimately then it doesn't matter because the people who you are doing it for their benefit won't care anyway? I'm not sure that's what you're trying to say, because I kind of agree with that. But I think that maybe there's more to that. You found the brony? Yeah, poor Guapo. Interesting question, by the way, because I'm curious, if the smartest PC in the party isn't the smartest player in the group to solve the puzzle, but the dumbest PC in the party is the smartest person in the group, who will solves the puzzle in game? I don't let people intelligence stat or charisma stat their way out of things in D&D. So I don't let, oh, I'm gonna make an intelligence check to see if I can figure this out. You know the solution? You know, unless I have failed as a puzzle maker to make something that is obvious and the players feel like, oh, this is just like a roll a die, excuse me, in which case then their stats still apply, and you know, unfortunately the die roll is king. What do the rules say? Yeah, agree that people who need the session zero are usually people who screw off the most and generally a detriment to the table. Yeah, generally the sort of person who would need it to be told to respect boundaries and read the room, probably the sort who wouldn't humor sitting down for an hour discussing boundaries and safe words. Obviously not exclusive, but I think they benefit them most and probably wouldn't sit down to one. Oh, so if you have a session zero and it's like kind of performative and whatever, then it's like okay because you're sort of forcing that person to sit through it. Yeah, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I think you're definitely, so that you're definitely there's wisdom in what you say, and I agree. The thing that I would do is not play with that person anyway. Like, I think it comes down to a lot of times is that okay, so I have this friend who she plays in a D&D game. And she's playing a D&D game that is a public D&D game. They play it on, like, do a podcast platform, whatever. And I hear stories about shit sometimes. About, like, oh, this player, she's really this behind the scenes. That player, he's really this behind the scenes. Or this person's not getting along with this person, so it's hard to do this and that in game, whatever, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And I always say to her, oh, so why, you know, so this person doesn't get along with either of these two people, and these two people are fighting because this person's trying to pull them both in different story directions? It sounds like this person's the problem. And she's like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, why don't you just ask that person to leave? And I always get like this, wow, you know, it's hard because, like, they've been in the group for a while, and, like, we don't want to just ask them to leave. We just want to kick them out because, you know, the game's really meaningful to them. They say every once in a while how much they enjoy being in here. And they said that the game helped their anxiety. So we're going to, you know, it's hard to not. And I'm always very, like, I feel like I'm very heartless in this matter. I don't have any problems kicking somebody who's a problem out of my group, even a little bit. Because I don't think that it serves them. I think it's super nice to be able to say to somebody, like, hey, dude, and here's how you do it. You just say to them respectfully, you're like, yo, so I hope you're having fun in the game so far, but I've recognized some problems. It seems like your style and my style, or your style and a couple other players' style, doesn't quite fit. Doesn't mean you're bad at D&D. Doesn't mean I'm bad at D&D. Doesn't mean they're bad at D&D. It means your styles don't fit. So, you know, with all the respect and love for you in the world, and as our friend or whatever, I'm gonna ask you to sit out because it's just not going in the right direction for anybody. And you might be here because you feel obligated. They might, you know, be here because or not saying anything because they feel obligated or whatever. But just know that this isn't about, like, a personal thing, like, oh, we don't love Sandra or whoever anymore. This is like, oh, we don't play D&D well together. And I feel like the more you do that, the more you practice that, the better you get at it. But people are so scared of doing that, as if it ruins, like one of my best and closest friends I kicked out of our D&D game. I kicked him the fuck out. Because I was like, at one point in time, I was like, hey, man, you know, the type of D&D that you want to play and the type of D&D that the other three want to play are very different D&D. Now, I like both D&Ds, but you gotta try and like work with the group. And it feels like you don't really want to sit through that D&D, do you? And that's fine, you don't have to. He's like, no, I don't want to sit through that. I'm like, cool. They don't really want to sit through your D&D either. And he's like, okay. So what do we do? Just like balance it out a little bit more? And I'm like, well, you know, I think you guys have given it a good shot at trying to sit through each other's D&D, and you just aren't enjoying yourself. So I really want to stay friends, and if we play D&D, we're not going to stay friends. So let's fucking just cut your character out right now, move on, and we can still be best fucking friends. And he was like, you know what? Sure. Holy shit. Are you kidding? Why do people tolerate such, like, so many assholes in their D&D games? Holy shit. I do not understand. I do not relate to it. Oh, we needed a session 0 because this person doesn't respect other people's time. So we had to have a session 0 discussing the talking torch, where everyone has to hold the little torch icon on Foundry. They move the little torch to their character and put it on their character so they can be respected for their talking time because they have the talking torch. But if they take the talking torch for too long, the DM removes the talking torch and puts it back in the torch pedestal. And then everyone else has opportunity to get the talking torch. It's like, find the person that's talking over everyone and kick them the fuck out. You know? I don't know if the session 0 would ever fix that. The reason why I run pre-game rundown session 0s primarily because those bad experience players triggers that general warning red flag, or suspect we have generally different kind of vibes with wildly varying tastes and styles. Session 0 might come up. 3 games. Run the game 3 games wide, and at the end of the 3 games, you say, "Hey Jim, thanks for playing. Doesn't look like you fit with the group. So if you don't mind stepping out, that'd be great. We love you. I'd love to play with you again. If we can find some players and whatever that are more your style, I'll let you know. Would that be cool for you?" And then you're good. I usually say for is a little weird in general. Like, well, you don't like mango salsa? I just use the color system red, yellow, green for how my players are feeling. They don't have to interrupt the game. Can easily stop going into detail or just wherever I'm describing. Though it isn't usually needed because in the session 0 with pre-game discussion, I don't know, man. I think that honestly, and I totally respect and love the way you play D&D. I think that's fucking ridiculous. I think, yeah. I mean, I feel like you get the red, green, and yellow just by the way people are responding. If you can read people really well, or not even really well, if you can read people decently, you can get whether or not they're like fucking flag. People will show you that and tell you that, regardless of if they actually say it out loud. If somebody's not feeling it, they will let you know. And I think that's so much easier than trying to make people like think consciously of like, oh shit, am I okay with this? Do I want to raise my yellow flag? I don't know, man. What if people think that that's weird? People will put their yellow flag or their red flag up regardless of if you like give them a physical fucking colored flag. I think for the most part, but again, I could be wrong. I could be missing something on this. Maybe people have different experiences, and that's fine. I'm having so much difficulty relating to a lot of the problems people describe with like these sort of systems fix that I'm thinking like I have to be missing something. I have to be missing something because like so many people in the D&D community vastly and widely disagree with me on this, which is fine, and I love disagreeing on shit because, you know, as long as we're doing it respectfully, then we're learning about other people and we're learning about ourselves. We're learning about how people play in D&D, and it's a good time. I think that's great. So don't get me wrong, I'm not like upset about it or anything. But it is just like, it's so wildly and vastly different than what I'm used to that I find the entire thing to be performative and ridiculous. You know? But like, maybe there's just experiences that I just like, yo, Evan, man. Because the reason why I sort of like say this is that I've never had somebody say that a bad experience, that this is why they do this, is because of this bad experience that couldn't have been solved by kicking that person out. You know? That's what my ground thesis point is, that I've never heard somebody bring up a problem in their D&D game that kicking a player out couldn't have fixed. I don't understand what people like what is, like, honestly, maybe I should ask this question more honestly. What is the big aversion? What is, like, sell me on why kicking people out of your D&D games when they don't vibe with your group or are being toxic or have a problem in some way, why is that not the norm? What am I missing out of here? Because I'm just like, oh yeah, get him out of here. Like, fuck off. Like, whatever. Do it respectfully. Be friends afterwards. But like, ultimately, kick someone out of your D&D group. Do it all the time. Who cares? What am I missing here? That people are like so... Is just, like, part of me is like, oh, they're just being like pussy losers and just can't deal with confrontation. But part of me is like, no, what am I missing here? What's like the actual reason why this isn't happening more often, you know? Most of my friends are neurospicy. Oh wait, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Really care about taking things further. Wait, taking the time for others who, without judgment or worry, like socialize in the same way. Wait, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Fuck. In general, there's been a huge increase in people not being able to simply say, hey, it's a bit much, or I'm comfortable with this, or I'm not comfortable with that. In general, actually communicating with people verbally because it's confrontational. That's kind of where I level at. Is just like, these rules and systems could be avoided with a little bit more social responsibility, you know? But that could be missing something massive, you know? I could be missing something massively here. My games I play with a close group of friends who understand each other decently well, and that puts me in the camp with Evan on that issue. But like, Duriel, we should be more open than, yeah, because we play with our close friends. We should also like understand why these things in general are necessary. And I'm just trying to like relate to it from the experience of like not knowing somebody all that well. Playing D&D with them, how would you avoid these problems? Like I'm trying to like disconnect from my own experience a little bit to relate to the general D&D community vibe of it, because so many people in our community value this sort of structure, and I just don't get it, you know. Bring up some great points on the other side of the coin. The perspective change is great to figure out what is too much for session 0 and what is the base minimum, like pre-game meetups. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, do whatever you want. Like at the end of the day, I'm not calling anybody out. I think like I can think it's ridiculous, but I think lots of things are ridiculous. All right. I think tons of dumb shit is ridiculous, but it doesn't actually matter. At the end of the day, don't worry if I'm like sitting here saying like I think your session 0 is a dumb idea, and you're like, okay, well, I think your hat's dumb, Evan. It's like, okay, well, we love each other anyway, so that's fine, you know. Don't think I'm like trying to like make a statement of like value upon an individual for whether or not they use a session 0 while I draw Lilith's cleavage. That's not. I'm trying to understand, you know, and I ask questions mostly with love and a little bit of spice because I think it's funny, but that's it. They didn't have to kick people out of my game because they opted out during the session 0. Neurodivergent, autistic, ADHD, plus other mental, physical illnesses, and a lot of trauma. Oh, well, so, Sienna, I think that's a bit unfair to clarify, like, oh, well, this is, like, I have a lot of people who are neurodivergent in my group. That's why I do these things. I have a lot of people in my group who are neurodivergent. I just don't bring it up. I'm not making rules for them specifically. I still hold them to the standards of communication that they would like to be held to, you know, because, like, for me, it's the way that people that I have had, you know, other interactions with who are on sort of various spectrums of neurodivergency prefer to be interacted with, right? And if you have different experiences with people like that, that's fine. But in general, it feels a little like we're asking about qualifications for people in general. It's hard to then say like, oh, well, I work with a lot of neurodivergent people, that's why I do those things. Because that's a qualification you should make then at the very beginning to like completely discount your like method or of operation for the average D&D group. But that's not what people do. They don't say like, oh, well, hey, if you're dealing with neurodivergent people and you have a lot of this and that and whatever, then here's how you do it. Because that should be the like first and foremost up front. But that's not the general messaging that I'm sort of referencing when I talk about session 0. So I'm talking about the general average D&D player that talks about how to play D&D, and they do this kind of stuff. And so, you know, what does that actually then look like? It's like a little, I don't want to like use neurodivergency in my players as like a rationale for Yuna, shut the fuck up. Okay, I'll hold your chew. As a rationale for why I do or don't do something, right? Okay, I'm holding your chew, puppy. There you go. Okay. Can you be good? Okay. You won't behave. Hopefully. Had a player play as an actual Canadian goose. The other issue, he got kicked out by session 2. That's the whole story. The moral of the story you asked, none whatsoever. That's a great fucking story. That's a great fucking story, and I love it. Cheers, Thorkin. That's a Canadian as fuck story. The reason is because people DMing specifically are bad at identifying problems and are unwilling to be the bad guy, or players are unwilling to say that the person actually is the problem. They don't want to ruin everyone's fun. Does this come down to ultimately just a massive attempt at avoiding conflict? Hold on, I might be having an epiphany here. Is that what session zeros are ultimately? Is just a massive, desperate last jab to try your absolute hardest to avoid conflict in your D&D game of any kind? Because I don't think the conflict is necessarily bad. Conflict is necessary. If you're talking to people, like, any relationship is going to have conflict in it. Any meaningful relationship is going to have conflict. I think that, like, the sterilization of conflict in any form is ultimately not that well-serving, but that might be a discussion beyond Dungeons and Dragons. Works for you, that's the right way for you? Yeah, totally. I don't think DDD session zeros. I think some people are bad at communication / reading the room, and session zeros are cool for people who are socially adept and can read the room. Better communication, their group, friends, strangers. Hey, please actually read the room and respect boundaries. Yeah, that's true. That's an interesting take, Ashley. Okay, unit off, please. I don't want your butthole on my foot. This fucking dog. Okay, interesting. I've learned something today. This is what I wanted. I've learned something. I've understood a little bit more. I think I grasped maybe the necessities of some of these tools a little better. I mean, that's good.
Okay,
I don't think that...
Ads.
Yeah, fuck the ads, Knight. Hey, thanks for considering me your prime option this month. Thank you, Knight. I appreciate that. Get those ads out of there. You can also get Twitch Turbo if you want to have an ad-free experience. There you go. I haven't seen an ad on Twitch in months. And that was the only time I was watching a stream on Project Evangeline, because I thought it'd be funny to go into Fishy's chat and talk to her as both me and Project Evangeline. And you know what? It was funny. So, new session zero is a tool for everyone to be able to communicate on the same level, since not everyone gets social cues, and prevent misunderstandings in regards to campaign, world, and the players, etc. I think you're... okay, so that... See, this is a... So here's my standpoint on it now. Here's how I've changed today. Session zeros are necessary for some people. Now what I resent is the idea that a session zero is necessary for everyone. That there is a type of person out there that can read the room, or can read their players, or can understand these things really well, and they don't need a session zero. And that a session zero is a tool to bolster against problems or conflict that would arise from people who don't have an easy time doing that. And I can support that. I can support the use of the tool. If you need a session zero to talk to your players about how to, you know, have a good game, go for it. And I support you for doing it, and I love you for doing it. But what I then resent is the idea that that is the only way to authoritatively have a good D&D game. That without a session zero, you run all these risks. I think that's the key component of where I've always been on session zeros, and why I've always resented them so much, is the idea of like this like arrogant authority that is by far the only way that you can avoid a problem or whatever. I've changed my opinion today slightly. I've understood. I've grown. And now I know that Thorkin's got some weird friends as well. And this is why I like streaming, because we get to have cool chats about shit like this. Yuna, stop! Okay. Yuna, what do you want in life? What do you want in life? Why must you lick my feet while I stream? This is my job. I do this for a living. I'm supposed to be professional right now, Yuna. This is not... What's up, Steve? You good? Can you be a good girl now? Can you go fuck off somewhere? Can you go bother Ella? Because Ella's not streaming right now. You can do that for me? No? Okay. Alright, if you cry one more time, I'm going to turn you into a hat. Okay, Lilith Booba. Realize there's a bit of a stretch here. We need our little star thingies. There's 3 across her chest. And how does that just sort of fade into... Hold on, I need more Lilith art. Diablo for Lilith. Images. So what's actually going on here? Okay. So there is a connection with her clothing. So there's the 3 stars. The stars are connected to her neck thingy. Okay. I see what I did wrong here. Neck thingy is not necessarily just connected to her collarbone. A little bit higher. There we go. So it doesn't go all the way up to her chin. And in game and art, it actually looks different. In some pieces, it has an extra little spiky bit right here. In other pieces, it's just a smooth line. A little bit thicker. There we go. Also making her a little bit more jacked than she should be, but that's fine. To avoid conflict with me, maybe there's a large push for being non-confrontational. That takes away from the communication. As a player, definitely tell DMs when I'm not having fun or have other problems with the other players. But as a GM, I can't expect every other player would do that. Would do the same just because I do that. TED Talk over. So, Vinny, I think I agree with you, but I want to push that a bit. I want to push that a bit. I'm pretty sure I agree with you, but can you defend the position as to why you shouldn't expect that kind of communication from other people? Why would you not expect other people to communicate well with you? If you're like, hey, I think I can communicate decently well, but I would never expect another person to have that level of communication with me. Why? Yeah, why, I guess. Why wouldn't you expect that the same from other people? I agree with you, but I'm just trying to poke holes in arguments so we know they're rock solid, you know? ACPs before turning to lurking? Oh, so far with lurking, we don't have her wings done or anything. We're just slowly rendering out some of the sketch for her torso right now. Then we're gonna probably do her face today, and draw her wings after. It's gonna be kind of fog. Looking fierce? Oh shit, that's a compliment. Thanks, Zibsy. I appreciate that. That's all I wanted. It's for the daughter hatred to look fierce. That's more than I could ask for. Well, I gotta figure out how to... There we go. There we go. To measure our little star out a little bit. What the fuck's at the center of it? Wish there was like really close up detailed artwork of Lilith. So I don't have to like guess as much, you know? Which we did finish Diablo 4 last night. I think there's just some extra bullshit that we need to do after the fact, but I think we killed the last boss in Diablo 4 yesterday. I'm probably gonna do the other like bonus like after credit stuff or whatever on my own because I don't think we need a party to do that. So getting Dashto and Ella together in the same room is difficult, man. I'm always busy. I can't ever play time or have time to play Diablo, but that's like reliable, you know. Dashto and Ella are like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. Oh, I gotta sand things. Oh, I gotta be at work at this time. Oh, I got a meeting. It's like, please, please. Be as flexible as the unemployed artist in the group. Thanks, Blaze. The other thing is a method of addressing things as well. DM makes a call or a rule on something, perhaps contradicts something similar to what happened previously. It's okay to go, hey, so we did X previously, did something change? How we handle these? Sometimes DMs forget. Being hostile at the top aggressive is not the right way. Yeah, I always assume that a DM is doing what they think is best. You know, Knight, if there's ever inconsistencies in your in a DM, basically I think you have to ask yourself one question. Does the DM have my best interest at heart? Did they make a mistake, or did they have an issue or whatever, or this or that? In which case, did they mean to do something wrong, or did they mean to screw this up, or did they mean to be inconsistent, or do they think that this situation would be better handled in this way? And I think at the end of the day, if you have like a very good opinion of your DM and them wanting you to have the most fun possible, I think that you overall have a great time and it's overall fine. The problems kind of come up when I feel like people are they're not rock solid sure their DM wants what's best for them. Because later on you can go to them and be like, hey man, like I noticed you handled this rule from like this player differently. Like you made me do all this, but you didn't make them do all that. Was there a reason for that? Like I was just wondering. And your DM might say a couple of things. They might say, oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I forgot that we did that earlier, and it kind of broke the game, and I decided we shouldn't do that anymore. So I was going to talk to you later and say, like, hey, we're going forward, we'll handle it like this. And you're like, okay, cool. Right? Or like, oh, shit, no, I forgot that we did that. Oh, dang it. I guess we'll, I don't know, we'll try and figure that out in the future. And you're like, all right, rad. Like if you think that your DM's like being unfair and just trying to get you, then you should fire your DM. You should get the fuck out of there, man. Oh, my DM's showing favoritism towards the other players. Wow. Sounds like a great excuse to leave your D&D group and find a different one. You know? I think I'm just overall very unsympathetic to the plights and woes of average D&D players. Because my opinion is always just fire your DM or like stop playing with your players if there's a problem. If you can't work through it, if it's not like going well, then you just move on, man. You just have a good time. Just try and find a group that fits with your playstyle, I guess. Authority aspect of what you described as TikTok nonsense, where small groups of people took the golden rule of the actual BDSM community and applied to the Session Zero TTRPGs. Is that a thing? Is that who we have to blame for this, Sienna? Like we can trace back things we don't like in D&D to other communities. Like overly dramatic character backstories we can trace back to Tumblr and to DeviantArt and to fan fiction. Can we trace back the ruining of Session Zero or pre-game sessions to the BDSM community? I'll admit this is beyond my scope. I'm gazing in from an unknown platform here. Needy Lilith stereotypes with socially awkward teenagers are all locked in a dark room. Evan, what do you mean people are struggling to read the room in this hobby on a regular basis? If that's true, I just don't think that we should change the way the hobby is played. I think it's easier to elevate people to higher standards. I was an insanely socially awkward person back when I was in high school. I was so socially awkward that a girl talked to me once that was like out of sort of my friend group, and I thought that my life was over. I thought like the entire time I was terrified she was just gonna she's only talking to me to like make fun of me and try and like bully me later on or whatever. And I was terrified the entire time she was talking to me. So much so that after she was like done, it was an art class. Realizing looking back on it now, she just thought my art was cool, and I think she was actually a bit of a nerd, and she was kind of asking me about it, and like I thought she was gonna make fun of me about it, but she like thought it was kind of cool. So she must have like, I don't know. She says a couple things that made me think that she did know a little bit more about fantasy. Like she had referenced something in the Lord of the Rings very casually that I didn't pick up on. It's like, oh, she's like probably a nerd too. She's like one of the most popular girls in school, and she's talking to me, and I was terrified for like all 10 minutes. So much so that when she was like, okay, cool, well, you know, looks good, and then she like went off back to her whatever corner of the room, I went to the bathroom and I cried for 10 minutes. I cried for like 10 or 15 minutes. I was so fucking scared. All right, I get it. I understand. I understand what it's like. Okay, I relate. It's a struggle out there, man. But I think that by allowing yourself to stay comfortable and not trying to push out and be better, you just make your weakness more comfortable. You don't make your strength any better, you know, or some shit along those lines. Someone will have a good way of wording that. You protect your weakness. You don't destroy it. And that's like I don't want to make excuses for that. If the best situation here is to learn how to be more socially, I don't know, conscious for the people in your D&D group, I think that's a perfectly good like place to end on. I don't, you know, to say like, hey, well, let's try and learn our socialization rules a little bit better here, so that we can avoid these problems, as opposed to designing systems to make them, you know, rock solid. Because I get it, man. I've been there. I understand what it's like to be I was the most socially awkward person I knew. I felt like I was looking out on normal people, like from the inside of a fishbowl. Like I was just some like pet in the middle of in this like fishbowl, looking out at the aquarium at normal people having normal interactions. And I was like, why can't I just do this? And it got so bad that one summer, I actually went on a training montage where I forced myself to befriend people on like a chat website that was meant for like teenagers at the time. And that was back in the internet where you could have a chat site with teenagers on it, and it was just teenagers on it. At least I hope. And I made some good friends on that site. And I learned how to talk to people over 2 months of crushing social anxiety over one summer, where I would just like get away from my computer and just like go off to my bed and put my covers on and sit there and like rock back and forth trying not to cry. And I'd go back over to MSN and like try and respond to this person. So I get it, man. I get it. Believe me. I understand. But it does get better. It does. If you force yourself out of your comfort zone, you force yourself to try and be able to, you know, interact with people in what's considered a more normal way, you can do it. There's nothing stopping you from it. Doesn't matter what's going on with you. I have people that handle DMs who are on their phone on Facebook during like 8% of the game. You handle, if your DM is on their phone or Facebook 8% of the game, Steve, you find a different DM. You say to them, you give them one chance. You give them one chance for corrective behavior. 2, let's say. You give one subtle, one not so subtle, and then you're gone. The first one you say like, bro, like, okay, so let's like maybe we all try and get into the game more. So what if we have like a no phones rule at the table? And if they see how we respond, maybe they're like, oh yeah, cool, I like that idea, or like, oh yeah, man, you know, that sucks. I don't know about that. Then you try the second time. You say, okay, well, when you're on your phone all the time, it makes it hard for me to get into the game because I feel like you're not paying attention. Oh, no, I am paying attention. Great. Cool. I think we should play with different groups. You know? I did read what you said, Viddy. It's just very long, and I have a hard time reading paragraphs out loud sometimes. But that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know, maybe more personal. I feel like just like trying to expect. Yeah, I don't know. Is the expectation too much though? Maybe. 100% being D&D for what? Wait, I want to value other people's time and effort in the game, but D&D is much of a priority to everyone as it should. I just had to be a situation where I can put in a level of effort. That's fair. I mean, it's kind of weird when you try and like in social situations or whatever. Was the same girl the girl that you had to do a portrait of? Wait, what? I'm confused. I've never drawn her one of her characters, Aduria. So.
Dead owl love, dead owl love, dead owl love. Hi Evan. Hi chat.
Big
I
Bluff.
hope everyone is doing well today.
Dude, what's up? Hey, how's it going, Big Bluff? How you doing? Thank you for the 30 months. I appreciate you. Good to see you, Big Bluff. Damn, bro. What's good? How you doing? How is moving going? Or where are you in the process, Big Bluff? Like, when are you going to be in Europe, doing European things, drinking tiny? We need to create a tiny, like a list of things McBluff needs to do when she hits Europe. Like, drink tiny pretentious coffee, eat something from a can, you know. I don't know. Hold on, let me catch my chat real quick. My subject without any supportive evidence is that some people have terrible experience with certain gaming groups. So I say session 0 is something they want. Yeah, I just don't feel like bringing the whole group down because someone had a bad experience is like necessary. I feel like you can navigate it through other ways. Session 0s on TikTok, YouTube might help normalize the idea of holding the higher standards, because now they can say we agree to be normal instead of trying to, after the fact, tell someone their behavior is inappropriate. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting, actually. Is it a paid game? $10 per session? Wait, what? Dude, should I start charging my players? Should I start charging my players? Because, like, I gotta present my players the very real problem. The very real problem is that I don't have enough time to run a D&D game and keep up with my work. But if I was getting paid for my D&D game, I could. Should I just start charging them? Just being like, guys, I'm gonna need at least 80 bucks a night. All right, you know, this ain't gonna work, man. Or some shit. Dude, I should start charging them. Fucking losers. Give them a battle pass as well. Maybe I don't charge them, but I give them opportunities to increase their power in the game through ways that they are fools if they don't take. Eventually the game, good on you. Of course, now I'm a DM. I'm always super aware of whenever I'm on my phone, which is an issue sometimes because I do like text my players and stuff. I think that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I like to write. Well, I guess are you physical, Steve? Like, are you in a physical space? Because I like to write notes to my players. I find people it's a little jarring sometimes when you're on your phone writing a text. But I find if you have a piece of paper and you write a physical note to somebody and you hand it to them. Oh, then again, you're not doing it subtly, so maybe that is a problem. I don't know. You gotta think about this. Not moving till mid to late August, making sure I have everything sorted, like changing debit cards and getting an international SIM card, plus my visa and all that jazz. You have your passport, right? You have your passport already, right? I know it boggles my mind how many people that I know that are Americans that don't have their passport. You know, that like I don't know many, if any, Canadians. Like I don't know any of my friends that don't have passports, but it seems like it's very common in the U.S. Like I didn't get my passport until I was 63 years old. It's like, what the fuck, really? I guess you don't need to when you live in the U.S. and you just travel around the U.S. and you just chill. Like Canada, you can't go anywhere interesting in Canada. It's like if you need a passport to exit your state, everyone have a passport. That's kind of like what Canada is, I guess. But yeah, we need a list of things that McBluff needs to do in Kids Europe. If I was running a game and something like that came up, I need to take some time to focus on. I'd be like, let's take a break. I need to handle things. Back like 10 minutes. Then I go handle my shit. Come back. This is the problem that I am notoriously bad for at night, is not taking breaks from my D&D games. I should be taking a break every. I don't know. I should be taking a break all the damn time in my D&D groups, but I don't. Sometimes I go through because my players are like, they don't seem like they need a break, and so I feel bad sometimes, like taking a break. When it's like, I've just been talking for 80% of the time, and so each individual player isn't particularly tired. The one rule that I have decided that I'm going to set in stone with both my D&D groups right now is no more Discord from your phone. I am not dealing with Discord from phones anymore. That's like one thing that I've been very lenient on, that I'm not going to be lenient on anymore going forward. If you wanted to show up to D&D on your phone, on Discord, let's just not that week. Let's just handle it. We'll do whatever. We'll chill. Dude, Discord from phone is the fucking death of RP. Like, both my groups have had problems where players have had to be absent or whatever and be on their phones, and I'm just like at the point where I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not play than try and deal with all the bullshit that comes with like Discord on phone. It's not happening anymore. If somebody shows up for their fucking D&D game or our D&D game with their phone out, I'm out. I'm out, man. I'm just fucking gone. And I'm gonna say I love you, but I'm gonna go play Diablo for the rest of the night. And we only play in both those groups every 2 weeks, and so if we go a full month because somebody's out of town or whatever, or doing some shit, that's fine with me. I'm not playing on. I'm not doing it on the phone anymore. It cuts out the first like 8 words somebody says, and then yeah, it's just brutal, man. I gotta take more breaks too. $10 per person per hour? $10 per person per hour? Do I have to charge Ella too? The game we played, local shop where we moved to KC. I thought you said KFC. You like moved the game from the local shop to KFC. Okay. Sorry, my brain just tried to make sense of a word that wasn't there. Do you know anybody? Only reason I didn't play at home game and not pay for my games where you're in person. Yeah, okay. So how do you feel about notes versus text, Steve? Would have been able to go to to England to visit otherwise. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I forgot about that trip. In the U.S., you can get away with not having a passport. All you need is state ID, a driver's license, as long as you don't leave the country. Yeah, you guys are a big country, though. You guys can travel around and, like, have a lot to see. Canada, you drive around, you, like, the U.S. has interesting shit everywhere, for the most part. Canada has interesting shit in, like, 3 places. So, looked earlier and still looking back, still looking at boobs. Well, Moose, when you're down bad, sometimes, you know, I'm just saying. It's, okay, hold on. What is actually going on with her jewelry here? What is going on with these jewels? I can't see. I can't see. Are they just little Pokeboys? Little pointy jewelry thingies? I need like the little statue or something. I need my friend on the Diablo team to send me a high-res version of Lilith's model in-game. Problem is you're never looking down on her. You're always looking up. The perspective here is a little weird. I'll just make it up. Whatever. Who cares? Is the hole in your glove from the tip of the glove a different color? It's a hole in my glove. Yeah, it's just a hole. Discussed before, Evan. You provide bundles. Character sheets are $10 per character. EXP ensures so new characters come in the same level as your dead characters. An extra $5. Ooh, shit, you're right. I'll do a sketch of your character for another $10. Loot insurance to get a good value on your magic items for your backup character, another $5. Unlocking your backstory quest, another $10. And then pad out every other tier with sprays, stickers, and animated colors. I should have different tiers of, like, you get an item, Ashy, and then you can, like, buy tickets to reroll the item to reforge it into a higher level item. How many breaks? 8 hours nonstop D&D? You're cooking half the time, bro. What do you mean 8 hours nonstop D&D? Fucking, you want to know what the Dashto experience is playing D&D with? Here, let me show you. You don't know what playing D&D with Dashto is like? No, I don't want to add YouTube. Imagine you're playing D&D, okay? Oh my god, why am I getting an ad for Roll fucking 20? An unskip. Oh, that's on. Oh, it's skippable. All right. So imagine. Okay, hold up. We need some. Where's some dramatic? All right. Let's do Forgotten God. Okay. You've entered the ancient Celtic forest. The Druid's Grove is before you. A large statue of 3 individuals holding up an eagle, a falcon, and a crow on their arms. It's covered in vines, and before you, a small reflecting pool in between you and the statue. You see large trees adorned with glowing fruit, creating a lit underside to the canopy, acting like a twinkling night sky as you look up deeper into the dense trees. You sense creatures all around you. Your feet, with every step, sink into the ancient moss. This land is untreaded by mortals. As you look forward, into the grove, there's an elk with a statue of a statue of an elk with a Dashto, your mic's on mute. Dashto, can you come back to the Can you come mute your mic, Dashto? I hear you. Dashto. So that's the Dashto experience. You're cooking constantly. What do you mean 8 hours of nonstop D&D, bro? You never cook D&D? You only cook during Diablo? Oh, sorry. Titan forging and sockets? Of course you're right. Yep. You're watching too much Snap Cube Sonic dub? What the fuck is that? Your best be on blast like this? Look, man. You know it's true. Problem is Dash knows it's true, too. Dashto knows it's so true that he closes his microwave extra hard every single time. Just to make sure his mic picks it up. Hey, look, it's fine, man. He's a power lifter. He's got to be constantly eating. It's all good. It's all good, okay? It's all good. D&D stories from the weekend. Played a level 0 one-shot with a TTRPG I'm working on. Had 10 deaths. Good. That's why Thorkin's a G. He's an actual G. All right, we're just gonna freehand these and hope it works out. Hope it kind of looks similar to what it does in game. No one's gonna be staring at the individual details. As long as it's like 80% correct, that's good enough. %, is close enough. And close enough is good enough for fan art, right? Even if we need to sort of invent some detail, it can be our take on a certain thing. It's a hard trigger for me. Oh no, you have wait, the microwave or the kitchen thing? Also, why does a video called Kitchen ASMR exist? Who has actually ever searched for this unironically? 130,000 views. Relaxing sounds to sleep to at night? What the fuck? Okay. Guys, the internet is a failed experiment. I'm sorry. We have tried our best, but the internet has failed. Yep, we're done. We're done here. Pack it up, internet. We're out. Okay. What is actually going on with her fucking neck brace thingy here? Kind of looks a little organic with some fancy bits on it. Okay. God, Lilith, such a cool design. Doesn't need to be perfect, but if we can get it a little more correct, that's better. The exactitude of the design is not what matters. Okay, I need to go get new water real quick. It's about 2 hours in anyway, so I'm gonna go do that. And when I return, I want some opinions on a new idea I have for a D&D game. So, cool. I will be right back. All right. All right. All right, we Gucci. I'm back. Had a little snacky. A little rice cake. Because that's what you do when you're trying to be lean. You eat fucking rice cakes. Wasn't it rainforest for sleeping sounds? Sometimes mix it up. Some random sleep music videos. I've always liked to sleep to music. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm not really much for like the nature sounds and stuff. I really like listening to, I don't know, a lot of different types of music. We were camping. I listened to a Daft Punk album. Is that weird? Am I the weird one? My opinion is yes, and invite me to it. Okay, you're already invited. Who would agree with this new opinion for D&D game that you should have presented to us? I have an absolute 5-head 10-10 genius idea. Move forward with it. Okay, fine, I will. No need to discuss it then. I'll just do it. No need to discuss it. Actually, this is kind of a big. This would be a big announcement if I announced it. Should I make an announcement of an announcement? Hold up. Let's see. Realms of Eldara. Scroll down. Down. Scroll. 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 Alright. Alright. All the cake options, you picked the good one, the rice cake. I mean, it was 35 whole calories. And, I'm trying to be on a pretty mean deficit right now, but this week I think I'll eat a little bit more today than I normally do. Because I feel so fucking tired and worn out from that hike on the weekend that I feel like my body needs food and sleep. I got the sleep in, which is like weird for me, but I feel like I need the food. Before the session, they decided they would each have one distinct personality trait and one medieval occupation, which they rolled. So to resume, who survived? God complex privateer, Giga Chad, milkman. That's the best way to describe his personality. Overly theatrical executioner, psychopathic gardener, sarcastic cook, narcissistic archer. Yes, there's a common thread. No, it was intentional. All the other ones died. Okay, good. That's what I like to hear. Yep. That's what I like to hear. Wait, Dorian? Which Dorian? Linkin Park. Linkin Park's pretty good. Saturday morning game over the internet for viewers. It's not a Saturday morning game over the internet for viewers. Not yet. That is going to be later. Okay. I already announced that bullshit. I think I'm gonna start off with Ella and I doing a one-on-one game on Saturday mornings. For a little bit anyway, and I might invite some of my other friends to it. But I don't know. I don't want to like ask streamer friends of mine to commit to a game on Saturday mornings. Mostly because it feels like a big commitment to commit to for like a couple weeks or some shit. So, well, careful cantrip and do a pre-announcement. They stole that from me, okay? Well, you didn't even pull a careful cantrip. Pull an Evan Blair art and announce the announcement. Okay? I don't care what fucking Dave and Bobby and all those losers over there are doing, trying to steal my ideas. But I was the one overhyping things without any sort of actual substance behind them way before they were doing that. Okay, they stole that shit from me. They learned how to be a disappointing, overhyped D&D streamer from me. Okay, if they were left to their own devices, they would be far too successful for their own good. Okay, they took how to be a mediocre D&D hype monster from me, and they stole that shit. So, bought entire stream setup so I'd be eligible for this game. Oh, okay, Pog. All right, Pog champ. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Pull and never. More like pull and as Mungold. Announce the announcement of the announcement.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. One of these days I'll be like the bald man himself. You know, bits of that, Blaze, or Jerry. I appreciate that. I'm already done with the whole pre-announcement. Okay, so I am going to be. So the announcement is that I'm going to be starting to develop the next world in the realms of Eldara. World number 3 is. Because I was looking at Blaze's name when I was finishing reading yours message. Relax. I am going to be building a new world. And I've decided that I like the Shattered Sea so much that I'm basically making an entire world called Aethorius. And Aethorius is going to have a Star Wars Outer Rim, Titan AE, treasure planet, swashbuckling, freewheeling, sailing kind of vibe to it. So it's all gonna be airships and kind of sci-fi-ish, but sci-fi in theme with fantasy in the way it's handled. And I'm gonna use those like old school like sci-fi like going to different ports and systems and stuff within this world. So I'm looking forward to it. I might do a whole new D&D game set there, but I need some ideas and vibes for like a good seafaring, like what makes for a good seafaring D&D game, you know? We've been announcing announcements for years. It's called leaks. I should have leaked it. Man, Ashley, do you want to leak something at some point in time for me? That'd actually be sick. Yeah, if you could leak something, that'd actually be sick. But anyway, I need to have. I've never really done a full-on seafaring D&D game, whereby the town the towns you visit and the ports you visit, you always have your home with you, your ship, your vessel, your airship or your sea ship or whatever, and you go from port to port, finding adventure and glory. And I really do want to. I want to make this a good one, and I kind of want to make it have different vibes to it. I really want to like stretch out a little bit, because Teleria is our like very standard edition D&D kind of world, very Lord of the Ringsian, very. Oh, for fuck's sake! You know. Why did I just hear Ella's keyboard? Why did I just hear Ella's keyboard, Yuna? Yeah. Why did I just hear Ella's keyboard? Did she type anything? No. Okay. Okay. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Anyway. You guys haven't told me he's working on some new D&D setting or game. Something I'm really excited. I'm not supposed to tell anyone, but you're my good vassals, so I can trust you with this, right? I might even be playing in it. Winky Face. Arandel Wink? What's Arandil's email code? Aranda Wink? Okay, it is Aranda Wink. Okay, there we go. So who's played in a good D&D, in like a good seafaring game? Because I don't think I've ever played in one, really. And I want to figure out the good vibes for them. Exploring the vastness of the Star Ocean. Various port cities, also different peoples, ancient religions and runes, outlaws, syndicates, crime organizations, nobility. The Shadowed Sea is supposed to be a little bit of that, and I wanted to see how the vibe went, basically, on Teleria before I developed an entire world of that. So I decided that we're going to use the Shadowed Sea as a framework for developing an entire world in Eldara that is all that vibe. Floating islands, everything. Cute over there in the corner pretending to be all innocent. She's pretending to be something. Oh, now she's asleep. Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright. What's up, Donut? What's up, buddy? Just make Wind Waker. It's been like 20 years since I played Wind Waker. I'll admit. It's been a bit of time, bro. I played the old Wind Waker. I won't lie. I don't remember shit about it. They made Wind Waker remake, though, sometime recently, though, right? I'll play it. Is the new Zelda game actually good? Because I was watching a couple of streamers play it, but I still haven't committed to buying it. For a Spelljammer where planets are kind of like islands. So what is an important thing, Garthen, for the vibe of a good seafaring, spacefaring, whatever travel game? The Spelljammer, I think, takes its best vibes from old seafaring stories. What makes for the best gameplay? What do we need in it? So I want to build some of these systems into the world itself. You know, some of these like storytelling systems. Tears of the Kingdom is super fun, lots of creativity with stuff. Is it how far or how long is the playthrough? How far do you have to go into your weekend with that? Is it a whole like 100-hour game, or is it like 20 hours or whatever? I'm gonna avoid side quests because I don't have time for fucking side quests because I'm trying to do side quests in Diablo 4 right now. So I'm not about to do that in 2 games at once. If somebody relayed the message, but thank you for your Friday streams. The domino affected me to do 2 pretty darn sick commissions for Magic Weapons and Pathfinder games. Well, I have been away all weekend in literally the mountains, Donut. So if there was anything that you posted, then I'm sorry I missed it. But that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Your work's always sick. I'm sure your weapons are just as sick. That's really cool. I'm always happy to hear that there's some positive influence from me doing dumbass shit. So, thanks, bro. Thanks for telling me that. If you post them, I'll have to go check them out because I've been thinking about changing the way I'm doing item paintings for a little while. I've been thinking about doing it more painterly and less like line worky, you know? I'm considering making a change for a while. I want to do something with like texture brush and stuff, you know? Why hast thou forsaken me? Wait, what? If Thorkin tried to relay something, I wouldn't have gotten it anyway because I was out of cell service. Dude, I was like being chased by bears and shit. There were like wolves around. I fought a black bear. What do you mean? I burned a druidic effigy. I was full mountain mode. I smelled like smoke. Holy shit. I showered yesterday when I got home, and I showered again today. I still smelled like smoke in the shower when I was washing my hair. Fucking awful. Post the first one, a bit of a scroll. I'll attach a message linked to the second one, which is more recent. Okay, sick, dude. Thank you. The most recent things to finish work at the moment? Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Might do a dive midstream then, if it's easy to get to. That is sick. I have an affinity for items. I'm very pleased when people draw their shit from their games. So it's been hard with the whole dark fantasy thing to pull it back. Oh, I need to finish Steve's design. That's right. I missed out on midstream finishing this design because you know, stream borked on me. And if you guys missed it on Friday, my stream crashed midway through the first item. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of bunka. So I need to finish that for Steve, and then I don't know, maybe do a couple bonus items this week or whatever. I want to try taking more time on my items on Fridays though. So one of the reasons why I'm thinking about switching styles. Cute doggo emoji as an apology. That's okay. Okay. All right, chill. Okay, what is Lilith wearing around her waist? Kind of like a corset thing, right? Yeah. Very uncomfortable and organic. So we need a better view of this. We need Diablo 4 Lilith. Not the Lilith fight. That's spoilers. Yo, anybody else think that Lilith would have been a sick Heroes of the Storm character? No, just me? Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Anybody else still think about Heroes of the Storm years later? No, just me? Okay, that's fair. I missed that game, man. It was a MOBA I could get into. League's like fun, but there's just like too many champions in League. League would do better if they killed half their champions. Just removed half of them outright. Dota would do better if the games didn't take 3 hours. I'd play Dota if they added a mid-wars 20-minute battle in. Heroes of the Storm was perfect, man. Why can't I find a good picture of Lilith? Okay, is this good? How big is this? No. Please, I just need one high-res piece of her armor. What is this? Does this work? Doesn't really show what's going on too well. But I guess it's good enough. So we'll just take this real quick and go. So there's 3 main sort of components. One on the outside. We made her too tall. Let's see. Then there's the center thing right here. They basically look like this. Okay, cool. At least a little bit long. Shrink that up a bit, and that's about right. Okay, cool. We're in business. I haven't played HOTS in so long. When was the last time we played HOTS? As League player, yes, remove Yumi. I need to stop getting distracted. Yeah. Just remove half the characters, man. Take the bottom 50 champions and remove half of them. And then take the top 50 champions and remove half of them. And suddenly, oh shit, you got a video game again. You got an actual video game. Now look at the statue on the Blizzard store. I don't know if it helps or not. I think she's holding up a Diablo head for some reason. Blizzard Gear Store. Official Blizzard Gear Store. Game merchandise and apparel. Let's see. What do we got? Let's see, we got a Diablo Xbox controller. We got Diablo posters. Diablo board games. Book of Lorath. Diablo 4 limited collector's box. Okay, almost there. Collectibles. Statues and relics. Replicas. Say relics. Statue. Man, who out there gonna pay $1,500 for an Anarius? Who the fuck wants to pay $1,500 for fucking Anarius? What kind of loser owns this statue? Ugh. Okay, hold on. Or $1,200 for an Alexstrasza. Sorry, a nerfed Alexstrasza. And like, this is tragic because Alexstrasza was my favorite character in Warcraft. He always has been. Pretty good, I guess. All right, I will accept this statue as well. Lilith. Okay. $800. Wait, this is 25 inches tall. It's $800. Yeah, it shows nothing. No detail. But $800. How big is this one? If it's 20, this is also 20 inches tall. Why is this one so much more expensive? What the fuck? You mean for $2,800 I can get a Frostmourne and a Frostmourne Sword Ice pedestal? So I only need 1,120 subs, and I can get Frostmourne and the Frostmourne Relic pedestal statue. I only need 1,120 subs. I mean, I have been at that many subs before. These are cool, man. Oh, and the Frost. Oh, I need the helmet too. I need the helmet too. You're forgetting $33? Wait, why? Wait, is this Canadian? USD. You're right. Wait, 1,500 put. So it's only $2,100. So 2,100 divided by 2.5 equals 840. All right, so 1,134 subs. 840 subs. So I need 840 American subs. I'm assuming all the subs are gonna be from America. Tier 1 sub-country, not lower tier sub-countries where I get less. All right. All right, new sub goal 800 and yeah, round down from 2833 to 2800. Yeah, okay. Look, I'm willing to invest some of my own money into this. Okay, I'm willing to invest a little bit of my own money into this. I gotta get some statues, bro. I put Frostmourne behind me, I think. I just replaced Ella's computer with a shrine to Frostmourne. Damn, bro. Alright, we know what our subathon goal is gonna be. I need some ideas for cool stuff we can do during the subathon. I'm gonna be live for basically the entirety of July, August with this. I'm willing to be, man. President trying to sell statues of Widowmaker's ass? Now it's Blizzard. What are you talking about? Blizzard's too forward-thinking for that. They've nerfed characters' asses constantly. They nerfed Tracer's ass, they nerfed Widow's ass, they nerfed Alex Strauss's ass, they nerfed Ysera's ass. They'll just keep nerfing it, dude. They don't care. It's Blizzard. What are we gonna do? Complain? Uncle Bobby can't hear us over the sound of his new yacht, unfortunately. Entire section of the store dedicated to Lilith. Wait, was there really? I'll just say it. Diablo 4 would have sold better if they made Lilith hotter. You could be offended by that, and I am too, to be honest. But it doesn't mean I'm not right. I'll be disappointed in the reality. Yet the reality still stands. Because we're not going to draw every single one of these in. Because, like, on this one, it's more of a... We're just using this as a guide before we actually... Actually, we should do this on a different layer then. Fuck. Because it's more of a, like, a ring blade type thing instead of a hard, rigid point to it, so... You right? Yeah. We don't have to like it, but we do have to, you know... do have to admit the truth. AFK for a bit, I'm gonna say, if you want ideas related to space pairing / seafaring adventure, let me know. I can provide an experience running Spelljammer. Yeah, I mean, if you have some notes for that, that'd be sick, dude. If you want to post them, like, that'd actually really be helpful. To be honest, yeah, I haven't really run a campaign like that before, so I want to know what people enjoy about it. Okay. Got our guide. Now we can actually render it in. What we'll do is we'll figure out a... a shape like this, more that bladed pattern. Lots of Lilith's design, there we go, is very organic. Whenever things become too rigid, we just have to remember that. Lots of it is very floral or based off of bone structure. kind of have to keep that going a little bit here. Kind of almost like scales or bladed scales of some variety. And the actual like plates that sort of like form the pattern with it. We don't need to draw in every single one. Almost just where the light's touching it, to be honest. This one needs to appear more like bone, I think. See, on this piece of concept art, it doesn't really show up. I don't really know what to do about it. Some of it fade to shadow. You don't want it too detailed. You want it to look like a texture, but not super detailed. Oh yeah. But Garth, I'm kind of planning also for this story to be closer to this like seafaring sort of like world, be closer connected to the overall Eldara story. So the world will not be like playable just yet, because an event needs to happen on Teleria before it can be playable. It's a little bit sneaky to say, but it should make sense pretty soon. Kind of a debate, I know. I am really excited about where the Eldara storyline is going. I'm excited to have it like actually in-game and playable. The opening of the gates is going to be a very big event. I'm hoping people actually have characters by that point in time that they, you know, care about. That are like part of their storyline, their friend group. If they want to. I mean, like, I don't know. It's so... I kind of like hate to think of the idea of people playing in Eldara, you know, because of the pressure. But it's like all I really want, so... I have to like sort of buy it a little bit, be willing to anyway. Because if you aren't willing to buy into your own idea before it sort of like comes to fruition, then like no one else will, so you have to believe in yourself first and foremost. Roseldar are gonna have its own website to host everything on. Wait, what do you mean to host on? Like the gameplay or what? Because I did want to make eventually there will be a Eldara VTT and an Eldara system to play. But that's a very, very long term down the road kind of thing. Or if you just need the story, then currently I'm using a World Anvil as that sort of place. So if you can get such by. Oh, yeah, I don't know, to be honest, because, I mean, I assume so, yeah. It's like monetization is not something I'm thinking about really at all right now. I need to start thinking about it because like it's just like kind of an uncomfortable thing for me to like. I would like to be able to just keep streaming and release everything for Eldara for free, but I don't think I can do that, you know? It's like the things that I could do to grow my stream versus the things that I could do to build Eldara out as a valuable product are like kind of in some ways antithetical to each other. But like it doesn't matter if my stream does well or not if I like have a successful Kickstarter for it or whatever. So I know I need to like start thinking about that soon. But currently, the way the first adventure is going to work is the first prequel adventure, Horizon, which is episode 0, is I'm going to probably release or 0 to 3 Horizon is probably going to be free with a physical edition. For like some value for what the prints are. What this is, I don't know. Then 1 to 3, or sorry, 3 to 6. This is episode 0. Episode 1, 3 to 6 is probably going to be like, I would like to keep it free, but I don't think I can. I think I have to do a Kickstarter. For it, and then have like figure out whatever the price point is for the base game or the base adventure, for the physical. And at this point I want to do a collector's edition for no one but myself, because I collect collector's edition games, and that's like one of my passions in life. So if people want this, other people want this, great, but this is mostly for me because I think it's cool. And then after that, I don't know how it's gonna work. I kind of want to do another proper Kickstarter, like then the big Kickstarter. The big Kickstarter will have 3 books. And this is years and years down the road for me. One will be the Eldara campaign guide. So how to run a game in Eldara. The next will be the Eldara Adventure. Episodes 0 to probably 6, because they'll take you to, yeah, whatever. And then the art book. But the barrier to start the big Kickstarter, why did I not write the big Kickstarter is like thousands of followers. So yeah, I don't know. So right now when the Horizon comes out, I'm just gonna release it to Patreon and everywhere else, and Twitter and Twitch and all that shit, probably for free. So I want people playing the game. I don't want, you know, who wants to pay for something that isn't like proven, right? So is there a different World Anvil page? Because I don't, or One Eye Access doesn't have much stuff, I think I've seen. It's just not on World Anvil yet. That's one of my projects that I'm gonna be doing in my, like, so I'm taking 2 weeks off in July. The first week is going to be me working to get a bunch of stuff done that I want to get done, and the second week is going to be me actually taking a week off. And so me converting all of my like hundreds of articles into World Anvil articles is going to be one part of that project. Because yeah, the World Anvil site is not, I don't like advertise it or anything, because my World Anvil isn't really all that well utilized. Most of it's because I wanted to try and do something special with World Anvil that just didn't end up happening because Ella got sick and she was gonna do all this cool API stuff for me. So that kind of sucks.
Like, I've paid for my Sage tier for 2 years in a row, and I don't regret it, even though I haven't really used it at all. Because I like what World Level does, and I like to support them. I like and I will be using the tool at some point in time. It hasn't been used all that much right now, and that's fine. It will be soon. I'll be having, like... I really want to find an editor or somebody that I can give the stuff to do very quick draft edits for and then post it, but that's something that I can't do until I start making a little bit more reliable income off something like Patreon or whatever, where I can then hire an editor to be like, hey, I'm going to send you a bunch of articles every week. Can you format them, edit them, and post them for me? But that's something that it represents a multi-$100 cost that I can't quite afford just yet. And with the way timing works out, I don't have the time to do it myself. So the World Anvil has been a little bit stuck, and I want to get it unstuck. And so I'll be brute forcing a lot of these things through, even if they're not the best articles, they'll be going through anyway. If they're not that well edited, they'll be going through. But I have a whole Google Doc that is on my current Eldara Codex that I want to format and make concept art for. Part of my Patreon relaunch that happened in early June is to do a formal article for World Anvil and concept art and stuff like that as well. And so I have to post that, I think, probably in the next 3 or 4 days. So
a year and a half of amazing content. Keep at it, Heaven.
Yo, Meegs, holy shit, bro. Thank you. Thank you. The 1.5-year sub. That's a long time to forget to cancel a sub. Like, there have been some long subs that I forgot to cancel where I'm like, oh shit, I haven't subbed to this person for like 9 months. I forgot. But a 1.5 years? Thank you, Meegs. Thank you, bro. Thanks for being supportive. Thanks for helping me live the dream. I appreciate you, dude. It is with support like that that'll make Eldara possible. So thank you. True now is my notes for what I think about when running Spelljammer. Did you paragraph me? Did you paragraph me? Please paragraph me. Fuck yeah, I got paragraphed. This is one time I want to get paragraphed. Okay, this is sick. Thank you, Garthan. Appreciate it. Location uniqueness, location connected to the bigger story, random encounters, map distance. Ooh. This is a useful little summary. Thank you, Garthan. I appreciate that. I'm gonna look through that today when I'm like probably working on, because I want to work on this campaign a little bit every single day, like 10-15 minutes at the very least, so that it gets it done over time, you know? Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. 100% buy the collector's edition for Eldar. It's going to be expensive. I don't recommend anyone buy it. It's going to be expensive. Not expensive as in like I'm going to make a lot of money off of it. It's just what I'm going to do the ultimate of what I can for the collector's edition for whatever like cost basis I can. You know? I want hardcover cloth map, tiny trinket, but like collector's editions. The best collector's editions are the collector's editions that have bullshit in them, like Legend of Heroes. Collector's edition. Like, this is what I like about collector's editions right here. It needs to have a box, fancy box. It needs to have the game. It needs to have an art book. It needs to have art cards, and it needs to have between 1 and 3 bullshit. Okay, this has 3 bullshit. It has a soundtrack. It has a card, like a postcard, and then it has some little standees. This is great. This is actually really good. It has an even fancier box, a steel book, the game, art book, soundtrack, cards, and a plushie. The bullshit on this one is particularly high. Trials in the Sky. This is a good one too because it comes with a pin. I have this one. I have most of these. Other good examples of collector's editions are like, a good one. Oh. So like, okay, this is it. This is one of my favorite games of all time, Valkyrie Profile 2, and it has one of the best collector's editions. Okay, it has in it a big ass fancy box wrapped in a cool fancy box shell thingy. It has soundtrack, game, art book, alternate collector's edition case cover, as well as a figure. Any collector's edition that implements a figure into it is already like, this is top tier, man. And I forgot about the ring. Oh shit, that's right. I really need to find a Valkyrie Profile 1 collector's edition. They're only available in Japan though. So like my Silmeria, you can only get it in Japanese. Same thing with this one. But I need to find it. So like I need to have imagine like a collector's edition for Horizon that has like art cards, a small art book. It has like a figure of like a Crumb, has like a short story book or whatever, has like a cloth map, you know? That's what I need. So what would pay what you want thing? Pay what you want is good. I always feel like pay what you want is it's useful if you don't have what I have going for me, right? So let me explain. So you can, if you say, wow, this adventure is insane, I really want to support Evan. This is great, man. You could hit the like, oh, I'm gonna pay $30 for the adventure. Or you can go to Patreon for a month and get a bunch of prints and stuff. Or you can go to my print store and get a bunch of prints. Or you can come to my stream and cheer bits or whatever. Like there's so many ways that somebody can support me in an additional, like I live off of the support of a few people basically. Like a streamer my size doesn't get to do this stuff full time without certain individuals saying, hey, I really like what you're doing, so I'm gonna support you at a much higher level. And the pay what you want thing is like, I feel like there's already so many people that kind of like pay for the project that I kind of would like it to be free for everyone anyway, at least at the beginning. And then once I do a more formal Kickstarter that allows me to sort of lock in a 6 to 12 month period of work, I don't know. That's things to think about down the road, but I'm not really, I'm not really super stuck on with doing one thing or another right now. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what the best method is, because I really would like to get the adventure in as many people's hands who want to play it for absolutely no cost. You know? We're doing all right and staying safe in Cali now with Mojo. I'm gonna lurk for a bit. Lots of love. Dale's looking cool. Thanks, L2. Bro, enjoy your time, your summer down with Mojo. That's gonna be so much fun, man. Have some stories to tell when you get back. And I don't know, bro. What are you doing on my stream? Don't be fucking checking in on what we're doing over here. You gotta enjoy the sun. Look how expensive collector's edition ends up being. This is a project that I love and believe in full-heartedly, and I want to support it. Well, I appreciate that, Blaze. You do so just by being here. Honestly, truthfully, the collector's edition will not be something that like I will make almost any money from. It'll just like, if you want to support the project, that's fine. There's other ways you can do it. The collector's edition is just a selfish request from me to have a cool collector's edition of crap made. So, like getting like a fancy box made, and enamel pins and hardcover books and stuff. When did I erase? Ah, fuck. It all costs a lot and it adds up. So it's kind of difficult. Shit, I actually did just straight up erase a giant line through the front here. Okay, whatever. We're fine. We're fine. Hey, no problem, man. We're still in sketch. Because I'm going to paint this out. As long as we're still in the sketch phase, I don't care. Alright. Alright. We've done good work today so far. Where's our little fat? I'm just turning it out, man. I really want to do Inarius in the background as well. Like, I want to, like, move the Lilith portion down. And have her very much in symmetry, and then have Inarius with his spear, like very out of symmetry, very classically posed in the background if we can, and then do like sort of a very kind of religious iconography type thing. I can imagine the silhouette for Lilith. Do a very like designed thing, and then have Inarius. composed and shit. I don't know, man. This is still a sketch little vote, so we haven't gotten that far. Yo, Rasa, thank you for the 5 months, dude. Thank you, I appreciate that. That's extremely generous of you. Thank you for the 5-month sub, bro. Thank you. It's a long time to say sub to the channel. That's like almost half a year, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you. Damn. That'd be very generous today. I appreciate it. Are we doing well? Are we chilling? Are summer's going well? Shit. I appreciate it. Man, it's so hard to like know that we're going to be including painting in this and trying to like do our line work like developed enough but not overly so the color can fit underneath here. Going well, it's my last semester of grad school. It's pretty busy, but still making time for other things. Dude, last semester of grad school, and then what? And then you'd be like a doctor or a master or some shit. Bro, that's impressive. You'll have like letters behind your name. Grad school always terrified the shit out of me. I feel like people are in there for so long, but it's like, how do you stay motivated towards the end? I guess you just kind of do it, right? Either way, I'm impressed. All right. Out of symmetry a little bit to shade this in. We're staying with our line work in symmetry intentionally for most of this, but we can go out and deviate a little bit. Hopefully now tap out more schooling and find work. It's been too exhausting for sure. Grad school's a lot though. There was an option for me to continue and go to like get my master's degree in like art or some shit when I finished art school. But I was so tired, man. Simply surviving school, like I dealt with a lot of medical issues through art school, through like college or whatever. And when I was done and I didn't have to be there anymore, I was like, I can't do this. I sat there and just like recovered for years. I remember one thing that one of my instructors told me when I graduated haunted me for a long time. They said, I know you're tired, but don't stop. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, man, when you graduate, you'll be tired as fuck, but you can't let yourself stop. I was like, damn, I let myself stop. I understand now why. Actually, that's not... So there's another thing that another instructor told me that haunted me that I still don't understand what the fuck they meant. There's like times in your life where somebody says some shit to you and you like don't know what they mean, and like, you know, and you like think about it for years and you like never know. You're like, what did they mean when they said that? They've long forgotten or they're dead or something like that. But there was like a couple of times when somebody said something to me and I never, like, I didn't clarify what they meant because like it wasn't appropriate in the moment or whatever, or like whatever. But one of them was when one of my instructors, one of my illustration instructors, we're graduating, and I get my little hat, I get my little gown, I walk across the stage, I shake hands with all the instructors, and like, so we had all of our core, like our department faculty there. So I knew everyone that I was shaking hands with. Basically, they had like the school's head faculty or whatever, and they had, because it was like we had a graduation ceremony just for our specific department. we weren't part of the rest of the school because they're not real artists, because they're fine artists, and we were like actual artists. So I'm kidding. So we had like a special grad thing, and so you know you shake hands with like the dean and the president and all the other like important people at the college. They get paid too much to do too little, and you're like, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, thank you. Yeah, you get your little piece of paper, and then you go and you shake the hands with everybody in the faculty, and you're like, okay, yeah, see you later, Carl. All right, Allison, you know, awesome, thanks for all the memories. Okay, see you, you know, so and so. And then I shook one instructor's hand, and he grabbed my hand, he put his other hand on top of it, and he got in a little bit close, and he said, "Don't let this be," or no, wait, he said, "I hope this was all worth it." I think I said something like "me too" or whatever. You're like going down the line, you don't have time to stop. I'm like, "Me too," or whatever. And then I shook the next person's hand and was like smiling at them, like, okay, yeah, thanks, and then thanks. And I got off the stage and I was like, what do you mean by I hope it was worth it? Wait. Did he mean to think that like I wasn't supposed to like that I'm not gonna get anywhere? Or that like he hoped that like all the stuff, like was he acknowledging all the suffering I went through and like hope that I feel like accomplished? Or like does he not think that I'm going to get a job or anything? And so he's just like saying, I hope you didn't waste your time at art school because you're not going to get anywhere in life. Like, what did he mean, man? I don't know. I still think about this sometimes. And he's like, I mean, he's like old now and shit, whatever. It's not like if I ever messaged him or whatever, he'd remember who I was. But like, I think about this, you know. I know he didn't particularly like me. He didn't hate me though, but he didn't like me. So I wonder what he meant, man. You think that I wasn't worth it? I know his wife, who was also an instructor there, really didn't like me. Right? So that might be it. That might be influenced by it a little bit because she really didn't like me. She was the children's book author, whatever, instructor. So
How exciting.
Yo, what's up, Hanabi? What's going on, dude? How was stream? Good to see you, Hanabi. What is up? Yo, what's up going on, dude? Holy shit, dude. Thanks for the raid. Last seen playing Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, right. That's what I like to hear, dude. Kitty, were you playing or were you painting or building or tell me your tales, tell me your stories. What's up, dude? 12 people were left behind. Oh no, did the raid failed? Oh no. Oh, it broke midway. That's okay. Guys, go follow. Kitty's been here before. Go drop a follow, and show some love, dude. Seriously, thank you, Kitty. Thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. Running the game with Decaf was... Uh-oh. Monka. Did anybody die in game yet? What's up, Miss Napalm? Good to see y'all. Good to see Decaf. Good to see you guys. What's going on? What's up, Draggy? How you doing? We're just talking about ominous life messages from art school professors while we draw Lilith from Diablo. So I don't know. Maybe those relate. Taking a bit of a deviation from D&D today to draw some dark fantasy. I've been wanting to draw more dark fantasy, so I figured some Diablo art would be a good place to start. And then after that, I don't know. We'll go somewhere deep for sure. Life goals: become a professor, get tenure, hold only the craziest classes, say random shit to graduates while handing their diplomas or handshakes. Kobo, I don't know what he meant. I still don't know what he meant. I don't know what... Okay, so the story, just for everyone who just got here, we're talking about when I was walking across the stage when I got my art degree, okay? I like shaking all the hands, and one of my instructors said, I hope it was all worth it. And like, when I got off the stage, I like didn't know what he meant. You know? Like, what was worth it? And like I think, because I don't know, did he think that like I wasn't gonna make it or whatever, or did, you know, like it's still haunting me all these days, all these hours, all these years later. I still think about his words. I wake up in a cold sweat at night and wonder what he meant by that. It was worth it, right? Ah, shit. I should send him a message and be like, wait, what did you mean by that? Do you remember in 2000, 13 or 12 or whatever, what you said on the stage to me. I know that some of the faculty is still there at the school. Actually, hold on. I'm curious. Is he still at the school? That'd be hilarious if I could. Oh, I forgot they renamed it. Yo, my college got university. Does that mean I have a university degree or now? Does my degree get retroactively upgraded to university, or is it still college? Does anybody know this shit? Filter by school. Communication design. All right, let's see. Load more. He is there. Oh shit. My old instructor, he is there. I could go. I could go and ask him. I'm like, what did you mean? Tell me. Oh shit. That'd be a cool stream going back to my old art school. Might have been his wife didn't like you. Maybe that felt bad. I don't know. Yeah. Look where you are now, though. Pretty sure it was worth it. Now I'm drawing Lilith Booba, I guess. I should go back to my old school and do. They're always asking like alumni to go do talks and stuff at school. I should go live stream a talk on how to be an artist. How to be an artist in the modern era. What they don't teach you in art school. Social media branding. Fan art. Live streaming, you know? But what happens to my degree? Hold on. If the college I went to is now a university, does my degree upgrade? Let's see. Upgrading college diploma to university degree. Well, I have a college degree, dipshit. Shout out Quora. Looks like I have no idea. The internet doesn't know either, and it doesn't matter. Because any sort of certificate you get from an art school is absolute fucking dog shit. No one cares about it. 0 people that I've ever met in the industry have ever cared about what someone's credentials were from schools. So maybe ultimately it just doesn't matter so hard that... what is the most useful or usefully degree? I don't know, dude. The most useful degree? Like, for art? Or just mean in general? In general, software engineering. Art? I don't know. In general? How the fuck am I supposed to know, bro? Probably software engineering? Yeah, I guess. It helps getting an art instructor jobs? That's true, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess it could help you with your instruction or art instruction. In general, yeah. Yeah, software engineering, go. You'd be happiest there. You make a lot of money, you don't do anything. Bro, I know a friend who's a software engineer at TikTok. He doesn't do shit. He gets paid like $300,000 a year. Okay? I have a software engineer friend who works at Blizzard. He does way too much, and he doesn't get paid nearly as much, but he gets to take Fridays off sometimes when a game release comes out. So, you know, depending on what you want in life, if you want an extra $200,000, or if you want to be able to play games from time to time, you can. Now, if you really want to make good money, you go and you get cybersecurity certifications. If you want to have a good university path, here's what you do. You go with almost no cost to you as the end user, okay? Go join the Air Force. Go join the Air Force Academy for the officer training, whatever, for cybersecurity, okay? Software engineering. Go get your software engineering degree from there. Cybersecurity. Boom. Every time your job opportunity or openings show up, you try and upgrade or move to wherever you can to get closer to cybersecurity. Then, Whenever the Air Force offers you to get paid to go get certifications, you take those. After the end of your 4-year service, so you're 8 years into your total thing right now, 4 years of education, 4 years of service, then you go to the NSA or the CIA as a contractor, okay? Continue to get more certifications, okay? And then after that, another 4 years, so you're 12 years in, so at this point you're 30 years old, you then go to the private sector with all sorts of cybersecurity certifications, experience, and you start working for private cybersecurity companies, for big corporations, all right? That's when you start making good money. You start making $500,000, $1 million a year, whatever. Then, after about 4 or 5 years of that, so when you're about 35 years old, you start cybersecurity consulting by telling rich people who run companies who they need to talk to fix problems. You don't do any work, and you still get paid $10 million for it. Boom. Retired by 40, bro. Retired by 40, boat, yacht, $60 million in the bank. You start up a company, you just keep taking checks from it. Like, there you go, man. Who the fuck wants to be an artist? Or you just draw booba all day. I feel like in the arts, CVs are way more valuable than degrees. Maybe. In like the real arts, like the production industries, CV doesn't matter. It's all portfolio. All you want is portfolio. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you've worked for, what you've done. If you are good enough, like if you want to apply to like Blizzard or something like that, they'll say, oh, you need to have shipped 2 AAA titles and worked 6 years in the industry. But if you're good enough, they don't give a fuck. If you send them a portfolio that's just, you just like unzip and just boom, just lay it out on the table, and you're that good, they do not care. They're like, hey, have you ever worked at a video game company in your life? You're like, no. They're like, great, you're hired. If you're good enough. But you have to be good enough. You have to be really good. When did it start raining? Windows open. Oh. We're Gucci. Cybersecurity qualifications are also open up opportunities for lucrative vigilante work if you want. That's true. That's true. There you go. See? Multiple streams, right? Consultant best career, backseating, getting paid for it. Oh, yeah, dude. You go to some CEO and you're like, well, here, sir, I can recommend that you have all these problems. I recommend you buy these products from these cybersecurity companies, and I'm going to take a 20% middleman fee. So you don't do anything. You just point somebody at something they should buy, and you just make like $30 million off of it. Like, I'm not even kidding, bro. It's like the easiest way, man. And since you worked for the Air Force for 4 years, you're also a veteran, so you get to eat discounted at Golden Corral. That's a buffet in America, right? I'm pretty sure Asmongold said that his dad gets to eat there for free sometimes because he's a veteran. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was trying to figure out how to help the young academics in TDC. All right, horn style. I forgot we were drawing Lilith for a minute. It's like, wait. Am I supposed to be doing something right now? That is a lot of work, though. Alternatively, you can make the same amount of money in your lifetime if you just became a TikTok superstar. So, not sure which is better. Which is more and or less soul-sucking. But, yo, thank you. Wait, what? GG P50 150? I definitely mispronounced how to say that. But Fitty, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, my friend. We're honored to have you. Truly. Hope you enjoy your stay. Almost at box 100 for the day. What do you... Wait. What are you drawing, Thorkin? I'm so confused. I knew you're doing studies today, but... Oh, that's good. Okay, I dig it. Realized that in game the other day that Lilith doesn't actually have eyebrows. She just has spikes for eyebrows. So there's that we need to contend with. Made his face. Let me take a screenshot. All right, Pog. Let's see. And honestly, with art school, I'm kind of like changing my mindset about art school now. I don't know if it's the best choice for young artists anymore. I don't know if I was like, if I was 18 right now and I just graduated from high school, would I go to art school? Man, it's tough to say. It's also more expensive today than it was 12 years ago. So, man, I don't know. Veterans Practice Day. That's what I like to hear. Never been to Golden Corral, but I know they exist. Added to the list of red flags and why I fell for her. Wait, what? Golden Corral or Lilith? Lilith horns. Or are you taking Lilith to Golden Corral? The spiky eyebrows? Oh, the eyebrows of the horns. Great. Take her to Golden Corral. It's okay. We can't be too detailed on the horns. We have to like sort of balance detail versus texture. After you take your Golden Corral, hopefully they serve something fleshy that she will enjoy. Yeah, blood petals or something like that. Blaze, are you finished the campaign yet? Because I think we're done the campaign. Guessing he's not a side sleeper. Yeah, be difficult. I don't know if demons sleep, to be honest. That's a good point, man. It's like, what did Mephisto and Bale do when they're like playing Call of Duty late in the evening? Do they need to go to sleep or whatever, or do they just like? They just get in there, just get after it, you know? I'm not sure if Bale and Mephisto play Call of Duty, but we're gonna assume they do. Sorry, I mean dual Mephistos. No spoilers for Diablo 4, bro. God, I can't wait to paint this. Okay, no. We have to focus. Focus on the horn ridges. Kind of a strange, like, patterning that forms on it. Kind of emphasizing the twist in it, you know? How the ones on top work? Ones on top. Okay, similar style. Must have been a pain to 3D model when they first came out with Lilith's design. Add to studies? Alright, let's see what you're doing. What you doing today, Thorkin? see what you got. Studies, work in progress, and feedback. We're improving outfit. What do you mean, Bluff? You don't need improvements. It's perfect. It just needs another 30 hours of detail. That looks great. Just composition looks best. The floor planks. I like the ones leading away from it. Expect to practice. No feedback necessary. Just wanted to share. Ooh. These are complicated, dude. I like this. That's good shit. Yeah, this is good, man. All right, I dig it. You're doing 100 of those? Oh, man. 100. That's so much work. I'm impressed. All right, I think we've got the base down here. I think we're moving along, man. This looks good. It's probably, I think, where I have to call it for today, because I do have some other things I need to go do. I want to end stream a little bit, like 20 or so minutes early today. So, unfortunately, yeah, I just got back from the mountains, but that means I need to go do some stuff and unpack and stuff and do that before dinner tonight. And also, I'm kind of freaked out because Streamlabs has just been not working all day properly, which is weird. I've been using like the Twitch chat thing, and whenever I switch scenes, it doesn't actually show that I'm switching scenes, so I have to see on my preview, whatever. So I'm gonna try and switch over to OBS tonight. I'm gonna try and do a bunch of things for tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow, I don't know what we'll work on. Probably I want to get back and do world building some areas and some things like that. So tomorrow might be more of a hardcore world building concept art stream. I don't know, actually. I'll see how I feel when I wake up. But either way, I do appreciate everyone who was here today for being here today. Thanks for chilling. If you need OBS help, yeah, Faye, that'd actually be great, because I had to end my stream on Friday because my OBS slobs just broke, and I don't know if it's never happened before, but you know, now that Twitch has their own like alerts box, and I can just switch alert boxes like once maybe, and not have to switch to like Stream Elements, and then whatever, and blah 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 blah. I can just do it to Twitch's alert box and use that. I'm more inclined now to switch off of slobs, because then I can use whatever OBS I want to use and have all my alerts in one spot. So cool. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for chilling. I don't know, man. Go to the mountains. You haven't been to the mountains yet. Go see some mountains, unless you live in like Iowa, in which case you're fucked. Go to see a lake. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I got my steps in over the weekend. So if you guys haven't yet, you still have half of a month. And tomorrow, the next day, we'll do our midway point, which we're gonna have some roles for, some fun encounter stuff. So I'm gonna encourage people to build some characters. So will there be spots for the Eldar online game? Probably once we're closer to Horizon being finished, I'll be running it through the Discord a couple times, people who want to run through it. So yes, Perry. Steve, what am I saying? Sorry, I say the word that I'm looking at or whatever. Slobs is garbage. So hey, hi, welcome to the new better system. I've never thought that Slobs is better than OBS. The reason I didn't want to move it is because I was too lazy to move my alerts. But if I have to move my alerts anyway, or if I can move them anyway to Twitch now I have a good reason to. So I'm happy. I'm happy to actually be switching programs. So I've always thought OBS is better, but I've always been too lazy. So say call you anything you want. All right, 14. Thank you. Anyway, till next time, my friends, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow morning, and until then, farewell.